good to go to begin for the night. Greetings, everybody. My name is KG Prestige, and welcome everyone once again back to another exciting session of the PokePod World Podcast. And tonight's session is going to be a doozy. Look, the first thing we got on the stream right now is time for some shit. Oh my god. I did not think that things would go down the way they did this weekend, man. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. I want to feel like we have a lot to talk about regarding this upcoming episode review. So it's going to be a fun one. And I can't wait to see how things will turn out. But before we get into that, of course, we always have to go and say hello to the peeps we got in the call. And for now, we got TSS. How you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. A lot of stuff this week. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. Well, one of the things I want to talk about is the one that I think everybody is going to. Actually, I have a whole laundry list to talk about.
Well, we have 2 hours to kill, buddy. I think we'll be fine, man.
Yes. So while we're waiting for everybody to come in, I also want to comment. Since the last episode of the first year of Yokai Watch Academy, Yokai Y Academy aired this past Friday. Want to give me my little thoughts about that, since we're waiting for everybody else. As I mentioned last week, I knew that this was going to be a doozy, and let me tell you, this episode fucked me up from an emotional standpoint.
Oh shit! What?
It was really emotional. It was really emotional. There was a thankfully though the twist was good, but it fucked me up for about maybe 5 or 7 minutes.
Damn, that must have been a good goddamn arc. Holy shit.
Yes, and now that first season is over for Y Academy, and now they're going into the next one, this is already better than Shadowside.
And that's just by season 1 alone, and that's what you're going
Well,
by.
remember, Shadowside was only one season. It was only 49 episodes, so
How
this
many
was
episodes
52.
was this? Oh, okay. So
52. And unlike PM 2019, they only had a 1-week hiatus because of the Backstreet Boys. That's it. So they only stopped production for 1 week, as opposed to 6 weeks for PM 2019.
Oh, wow.
So they actually.
I'm very happy to see that that the art came out overall successful. I think that's always the best feeling when you see something that you enjoy come out.
Oh yeah, and it was really intense, and definitely worth your time to watch the whole first series. And then the second series starts next week. It's still the same title, Yokai Academy Y, Close Encounters of the End Kind. It's just that it's going to go into the second year. But they're not changing anything. So
I do have to ask though: is the main cast all separated in the way they ended things off in this first season?
Thankfully, no.
Oh, it was just they're actually staying.
Yeah, but the thing is, they made it back. But I don't know what their roles are going to be for the next year.
Oh, okay. They left it very vague, but I think that's also good because it'll give more
it was very good. So that's all I want. That's all I wanted to say about that. Now the next thing we want to talk about is a few days ago, somebody on the PM Discord messaged us. Said that he was linked a video. It was from it's on TPCI's official YouTube channel, but it's an unlisted video. And I would imagine it's probably a video that is shown during the interview process. And the video is called Core Values of Pokemon. So because of course they're doing a lot. Of course TPCI is probably on a hiring spree now, and they're doing Zoom calls and stuff. Hi Tyrone.
TPCI is hiring?
Well, they always, they always are. So Core Val, they all are. So in the video, so I'm going to talk about it now.
Y'all want me to work for Pokemon real fast?
Yeah, hey, tell them
in
you're
the
video,
which is 6 minutes long. In the video that is 6 minutes long, They go through 6 core values, but we're going to go through the core values at the moment. But there's 6 different things that I want to talk about, like quotes, because of course, a lot of this stuff is like, corporate stuff, like encouraging people to come work for them, right?
Yeah.
So the first one happens at 1 minute and 49 seconds. So the quote is as follows: "We always want to have achievements to be pretty high standard, not just for ourselves, but for our fans out there." That's one. 2, a lady at 211 says, "We're never going to compromise quality for a sale." Well, that's going to be fun to talk about. A guy at 214 says, "And we bring these teams together and we empower each other to make sure that the product is as good as it possibly can be." Again, we're going to talk about that point in a moment. A guy at 309 says, "I think the company does a great job in building community in many forms." Again, you're seeing a pattern here. Man at 332 says, "TPCI is one big team." That is bullshit. We're going to talk about that. And also at 441, there's a similar string of music as Goldfarb's Ash XY theme. So now with that being said, let me read off the 6 core values that they push in this video. Number 1 is passion for Pokemon. 2 is dedicated to quality. 3 is challenging the expected. 4 is building relationships. 5 is integrity and respect, and 6 is delighting customers. Oh boy, let's talk about this.
Okay, well, first of all, the one thing that caught my attention the most, you probably know what I'm gonna bring up, that the Goldfarb.
Oh God.
we make sure that the product we send out is of high quality. All right. So TSS, I have to ask, which one out of all of the ones you just stated you want to start off with first? Because I'm curious to see what you have to say, and then we'll jump into that soon.
Okay, so you want to talk about the quotations or the core values itself?
I think the core values, and then from there we can break it down into the quotes itself.
Sure. Okay, so number 1, so we're going to talk about. Okay, we're going to talk about dedicated to quality. Let's get this bullshit. Let's get this bullshit rhetoric out of the
bullshit.
You know what's bullshit? This video that I'm talking about.
This is so dumb that. Well, why is this a sing? Is what I'm kind of like.
I know what it is. It's like the corporate thing to help convince people that it's worth working for.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you this right now. I've talked to a specific person that was in the Pokemon community and that is on the anime proofreading side now in terms of the script, and it's like we're talking about a company, and this will also refer to what the guy said at 332. TPCI is one big team. The problem is when you have multiple departments in multiple teams in the same department that have communication issues. That's not what a big team means. And not only that, we have videos on YouTube saying that the card game, the TCG department doesn't know what the fuck they're doing either.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's actually videos where somebody talks about them trying to contact like different sections of the TCG department.
Yeah,
and they fucking failed.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's like,
man, see, when it comes to the TCG, I'm so pissed when we lost Wizards, because Wizards used to manage the Pokemon TCG stuff. That's why there were tournaments in local areas like everywhere. If you lived in one area, bam, there were tournaments all over the place. Now TPCI has, and it's like, yeah, we got a tournament like 2 states away from where you are, and there's only one. Like,
and it's in like very obscure locations too. It's not like very well known spots. Nah, they choose some of the more obscure locations sometimes.
Yeah, it's always in like buttfuck Tennessee or some shit. Like, I hate it. No offense to the people who live in buttfuck Tennessee.
We love you, buttfucks.
Or Intercourse, Pennsylvania. We love those people too.
Yeah, but okay, you can continue, TSS. I just want to comment on that.
So
TCG
let's talk about the first point, dedicated to quality, right? And
you sure they didn't misspell that and wrote quantity?
Yeah, and again, we're gonna take the 2 points at 211 and 214.
All right.
We're never gonna compromise quality for a sale, and we bring these teams together and we empower each other to make sure that the product is good as it can possibly be. What bullshit is that?
That whole thing about we're not gonna compromise, I would have believed that if we were back during like the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
But you could tell a shift happened.
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, I can understand why they said that, because it's not true for all of their departments, but I would feel that the departments that we work, or the sections of the fandom that we work in, like the anime, never going to compromise quality for a sale. Yeah, you basically like completely botch a lot of the home releases.
And also, this has not been going on for one generation, but rather multiple generations at this point.
Yeah, we're talking about since XY.
Yeah. Now, mind you, the script has been improved. I'll also give them that. Like, they actually have become slightly more favorable to be faithful to the Japanese script. Unfortunately, though, there is something that a lot of fans still kind of criticize till this day regarding
shurikens turning into fucking pink.
Yeah, we're talking about like fucking suction cup shurikens and
then the band episode
and glitter vomit.
Yeah, the whole that thing, and then the fucking lotion thing. I forgot about that too. That's a bad script error. How the fuck can you call a fucking potion in the Pokemon potion bottle fucking lotion? you don't even know your own fucking products. You don't even know how the fucking subtitle how to close captions shit.
You mean to tell me the stuff I've been rubbing in the Pokemon Center bathroom, that wasn't lotion?
That was all potion, baby.
The glitter vomit. Accidentally putting a Japanese name in the closed captions while the English name is being said in the freaking thing. Greninja, all this shit. It's like, quality, right?
I'm just disappointed that I was misled.
It's like,
we've been misled for years, man.
Man, fuck English, what?
For years.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course what really makes it the problem, what really is the issue with that is so we have that quality. So that's aside. Next one that I want to talk about is integrity and respect. What integrity and respect?
Guys, by the way, when he said TPC I was hiring, I looked at the application process real fast. It takes like 5 minutes to do. I'm low key gonna try it. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work at the Pokemon company.
Don't do this to yourself.
He's gonna give us the secret dark intel you guys want to see behind in the PokePod. So make sure to follow us here if you.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm
just saying, if you do though, try to find a way to get them leaked OSTs for us, man. We're still waiting.
But go ahead, man. Let TSS continue.
So integrity and respect. We're talking about a company who has disrespected 2 great Japanese composers, and it's like we're talking about completely disrespecting Yuki Hayashi's work to the point where we can legally buy his music, but we cannot see the series that it's in. That's fucking sad. When you have 0 to 4 pieces of his music in an episode, that's a problem. That's a real problem.
Or just straight up none at all.
Yeah, that's why I said 0. I mean, and then you could literally buy or stream Hayashi's music for the fucking Pokemon series.
Actually, I want to see if that's actually available on Apple Music. I haven't had a chance to check that.
Yeah, and then on the fucking credits it says music by Yuki Hayashi. Yeah, fart sense and fucking fart sense and freaking the string garbage and everything like that. That's not Hayashi's music. Sorry. No. Nope. That's not that's not respecting the integrity of the series. It's like, well, if you're so hell bent, TPCI, in integrity and respect of your own franchise, then make the fucking then use the fucking music that God intended.
God.
I mean, he's not wrong though, man.
Yeah, so it's like, in each one of them I can just rip all fucking day. So that being said, let's go to the next one. Passion for Pokemon. Where are these people? I could count on one fucking hand the people that were in this community and actually work for Pokemon now. Probably two or three people out of like hundreds or thousands of people. It's like, where is the passion? It's like people like some of these people that are shown in this video are like fucking social managers or whatever. It's like, man, they didn't give a shit about Pokemon before they fucking hired. They really didn't know shit. It's like, that's not their prerogative. It's like, why don't you get the real people that have been around in this community so fucking long, and then they will help steer your brand to where people will be happy. Okay?
I mean, even back then, when like, I want to say, even back then, before TPCI sort of just had the full takeover of the Pokemon anime, I could tell like the people that were working on Pokemon, obviously 4Kids Entertainment, not just 4Kids Entertainment. I could tell they put a lot of care into that. Yeah, they made dub errors out the ass, but they did. I could see the work that they put in and like the effort and how much they were trying to invest themselves to make the anime pop. And I think it's a lot of that. I think the effort they put in is the difference between why Pokemon blew up so much in the US in the 90s versus like Digimon or whatever. Like Digimon did good, obviously.
Yes.
But Pokemon like was a phenomenon. It was literally a thing that took the world by storm. And we have them to thank. And I've always felt like that when TPCI took the license, Pokemon lost a little bit of its soul.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say Pokemon took off because they had the games. I think the games.
Well, yeah, the games definitely
drove it. I mean, they drove it because everybody
the driving force, but then
everybody and their dog had fucking Game Boys.
But then when you see like you turn on the TV and you see Pokemon come on, and you even see those things that are outside the anime that they went in through the effort to do, like Pikachu's jukebox, like all that, and like all of that they put in that effort. The Christmas fucking album where Misty's like, Ash, I think we're under the mistletoe. And he's like, here's some Christmas cookies. Like, they didn't have to do that. Like, they chose to do that. I could see this effort. So when TPCI is like doing half-ass, you definitely like can see like the reason TSS I think you're so upset is because you've seen better.
Yeah, I've seen much better, and we're gonna go now to the next part, which is gonna be let's see, building. Let's see, we're gonna do challenge the expected. Okay, challenging the expected. I don't know about that. The problem is when you're challenging the expected. The problem is now we're talking about we're talking about the anime again, because again, I'd say that the anime is the Achilles heel, at least in the Western.
Damn.
Yeah.
It sticks out. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's like one of those things where it's the green potato chip in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's for challenging the expected. The problem is people. If they really want to challenge the expected is the 1990s fucking mentality that they still have on this anime, instead of fast forwarding to 2021, where you have even freaking, all these great franchises now. You have freaking One Piece, you have freaking Dragon Ball, and then they have everything available. All you get the original language stuff, and if you want the dub, you can watch the fucking dub. What the fuck does it take? As like, I was having this conversation the other day. I was thinking to myself, they can do this without destroying their own dub product. There's ways to do this. I think though it might just be a kind of a corporate fear that if they allowed the Japanese version to become subbed, it's gonna hurt their business in the West. And it's like, dude, what the fuck is this? This is not fucking 1998. It's fucking 2021.
Especially nowadays, considering the fact that there's even kids now. There's kids and teenagers alike. A lot of them more now that anime is more accessible in the West.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids and teenagers just straight up watching anime. I saw a 10-year-old watching anime subbed. I'm like, can you read the subs? And that's not me trying to be mean. I mean, physically, can you read the subs?
Maybe. Maybe. Smart kid.
Smart kids. I mean, smart kids.
Probably read. I don't blame them.
I mean, I'm saying, like, I've seen kids like watching anime in Japanese, and it blows my mind because I'm like, whoa, like, maybe.
Yeah.
But now that we're in that stage, I think we need to throw away those old traditions. Some of those old traditions need to go.
They need to die.
They need to die. We've evolved.
Let's put this into perspective. Even Digimon changed their tune. Konami changed it.
Pokemon should have evolved, if pun intended.
Yeah, evolved. Mega evolved. Okay, we need that shit.
Like times have changed and they need to get with it.
Okay. Next one is going to be building relationships. Tell that to pretty much anybody on social media right now, because when you disagree on which series you like, it automatically turns into dumpster fire. I can understand where they were going there. Yeah, I mean, building relationships with your coworkers and shit, and maybe some of the fan base. But the problem is there's a lot of the fan base now, especially online, where they don't take opinions very well and they don't take criticism very well. They criticism for a series and not for themselves. It's like, again, I've made this point many, many, many times, and that is people don't understand the difference between criticizing a series and then criticizing a person that likes said series. There's a fine line in between both of those. But the problem is, a lot of people, they do not have the social, I guess the social knowledge and the social kind of experience to discern both of them. It's kind of a blurred line for them. It's like, I hate Sun and Moon with all my fucking heart.
Yeah.
But I am not going to fucking shit on somebody that likes the series, because there are things to like about it.
I am. Fuck you, KG. No, just kidding.
Fuck you, Mac, and your X, Y, and Z. Calling it perfect
again.
Bullshit. You can't call that series perfect when the Quilladin episode exists.
But but on a serious note, TSS is right. Don't be mean to people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like exactly, because it's like then it becomes a personal attack, and that is not what constructive criticism is. And saying that, okay, you don't like the series because this and this, and it's like then it becomes an argument. Oh, you don't know fucking animation. It's like, when the fuck did I talk about like freaking in between shots and the fucking animation shit? I made this point with Zach's episode a few weeks back, but it's like, but you have that. So next topic from that.
I do want to just touch something real quick, because I believe it's something that unfortunately sparked a lot of debate. The whole AOT stuff. I was thinking about it a lot more now with the studio. Does anybody know about all that recently happened?
Yeah, from what I know, Studio Mappa has been getting a lot of criticism for the way they're handling Attack on Titan, and I just don't understand.
I've been hearing that too, actually.
Yeah, so to give full context, the recent episode of AOT came out, and there was a bit of CGI used in that episode. A lot of fans criticized that to the point that they started attacking animators on the show.
I thought you were gonna say
of the
Titans. I'm sorry.
No, they started going after the animators of the show, and they even went out of their way to attack an animator who wasn't even part of that episode's storyboard or even involved in that episode at all, but they still criticized him despite him not even being in that episode, like in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
And
That's
even,
like somebody going. That's like somebody going after Iwane, even though he didn't even do an episode.
and then the people had the gall to reply in his tweet that he stated he wasn't part of the episode to straight up say, "Oh man, now you better do shit, better like how how Demon Slayer is doing. Like, look at the animation on Demon Slayer. Like, you better do that." And I'm like, do people not understand the context behind how AOT was being handled before the series season finale or whatever the final season is? Because they've mentioned there was a lot of issues leading up to the production of the final season, but people didn't care about that. They just cared about seeing the show come out before 2-3 years from now. Yeah.
To this day, ever since I used animation stuff like Adobe Flash or Photoshop, and I played around with animation and saw how long it takes to do like a couple of seconds, the fact that they get paid really low baffles me.
And to get criticism like that doesn't exactly help.
And then they get treated like that. It's like, guys, these people are trying to eat. Like, these people are trying to.
I mean, some of these. Think about it this way: some of these folks that are doing this animation make less than working at a fucking Family Mart. Okay, but they want to do it because it's their passion.
Exactly.
Right.
And sadly, people aren't looking at that part, and they're just more so looking at the episode itself.
Now, I get disappointed when I see bad animation on stuff that I know I've seen better animation done. But I also realize that the hands making it aren't gonna you got to realize what they've been through too. Like, you got to sit and stop and think, well, maybe they were sick that day, but they can't afford to take a sick day off or some shit.
I mean, people getting hand cramps from fucking drawing and shit. It's like,
I mean, I'm gonna be personally upset because the quality I'm getting is trash. But I'm at the same time, I'm not gonna take that out on the creator. They could have done nothing.
Yeah. See, Donnie brought up a good point. To tell you the truth, I'm more surprised how well the show is holding up despite the troubled production. That's the part that we're going into. You could tell that the passion behind that final season is really showing. That the people working, despite all the troubles happening to this season, they're still doing their best to provide something for the fans. And to their eyes, they feel like they're being as faithful as they can possibly be to the work that came from AOT, the manga. But unfortunately, it's just painful to see how fans just will go out of their way to target people who might not even be involved with that and still criticize them regardless. And it's horrible, man.
And I'll give Mappa Studio where credit is due when I think Studio Mappa did an absolutely amazing job handling some recent anime, including Jujutsu Kaisen, which I think if there was a studio or an industry of the year for the Crunchyroll Awards, I probably would have given that to Mappa, knowing how much time and effort they put into their work. But of course, not every studio is perfect. There will be some mistakes here and there with some anime series, like given how the studio that's working on My Hero Academia didn't quite handle that what do you call it? The recent arc overhaul. There you go. Yeah, even that studio didn't put up that great of a work, but you also gotta understand what they that you don't know what these staff are going through. They might have been tired. They might have been dealing with hand cramps as well. But there's absolutely no way that you should be criticizing these the staff members for even doing their job, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to support them.
Yeah, because that there are people behind all of this, behind all the pretty animation or the art style or the way things flow, the songs. You have to know it all originated from somewhere, and that somewhere is the people themselves, the human beings who are putting their heart and soul into something that they view as their passion and what they admire to do, and to just go out of your way to not physically harm them, but mentally harm them with your verbal abuse like that isn't exactly something no one should ever do. It is harmful. You have no idea the kind of damage you could be doing. You really need to reevaluate the way you're taking things in life, because this is not the way.
Yeah.
Man.
And I also want to mention is like, if you have enough energy in your brain, if you're in your mind to just yell at a random person from another country, maybe you should actually sit down and think, what can you do with your time that's better for your life? Maybe you could use that energy and do something better.
Do it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the fucking you make the Sakuga.
Yeah. Go to OLM, Tyrone, and make the Journey series.
Make the Sakuga.
Yeah, make the Finally, I've been waiting to see that shit come back after so many months of not hearing that joke.
Yes. Also, there's one more point.
Yeah, I apologize for cutting you there, but you can continue with that statement.
All right, there's only one more core value that TPCI mentions, and that is delighting customers. And I'm like,
oh yeah, like they decided to do all these music collaborations, but they couldn't do any music collaborations for the anime.
It's even worse than that. Remember when Sova was a thing? Remember when Dexit was a thing? It's like delighting customers. I'd say it's like, okay, you're not gonna make everybody happy, but it's like right now TPCI is in a kind of a crossroads now. First of all, we didn't even get freaking Pokemon Sleep yet, which they fucking announced.
They're too busy sleeping on it, man.
They're too busy sleeping on it. Exactly. We're gonna go ahead and like forget about the freaking that LOL clone that they're having, the fucking one made by Tencent, because the Tencent thing is not gonna fucking happen. Yeah. The Tencent thing is not gonna be flying here because Tencent is in trouble with the U.S. government.
Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those rare Pokemon games that aren't gonna make it out here.
Yeah, we have to freaking VPN and get a different account.
I think what might happen though is I think you might be able to not download it via the US Nintendo eShop, but because you can download it via the Japanese eShop, that's going to be our only way of access to get around that. Because theoretically, you're not buying things from the US store, you're buying it from the Japanese digital store.
And of course, for that, you either need a Japanese credit card or you need the Japanese eShop cards.
I assume it's going to be free, I want to say, that game. Because if it's meant to be like LOL, I think the skins are where you're gonna have the real problem.
Yes. And there's one point I'll also like to make. The guy with 309. I think the company does a great job in building community in many forms. Nope. I don't think so. Nope. That's not building community. No. It's called dividing the community, because first of all, you have people complaining about the TCG stuff, people complaining about the video game stuff, people complaining about the anime stuff, and it's like, what else? And then also it's like they're giving us the and then we have then you have all that power that's given towards Game Freak, or all the flack given towards Game Freak about how they mistreat their games. They shipped a broken game in X and Y. They shipped a broken game again, Oris. Because it had the same fucking save bug.
Broken and buggy.
Yeah, you ship broken games. You ship games that people kind of felt indifferent. Like I said, the Gen 6 games are kind of like, nah. And on top of that, you had issues about running the game. The game was not optimized for the hardware that it was running on, where you had it dipping below where if you put on the 3D, the frame rate drops by half, and you get slowdowns in horde battles. So again, it's not. And then and then early Sword and Shield, you got fucking micro SD corruption. So it's like they haven't what.
I don't think that person has a Twitter, or has never seen Twitter. Because if you look at Twitter and you look at the community, it's in a complete dire state. Everyone is always arguing about stupid shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the shipping crap, which I could give two shits about.
Honestly, I'll say this: I think the shipping stuff has been on the lay low. It's just the other stuff that's been taking
over as far as issues. Sun and Moon had problems too. Red Dragon's right too. So
Oh, yeah,
every game since Gen 6 has shipped with a problem.
How ironic.
Yep.
Because that was the jump to 3D.
Well, not only that, that's when they decided, we have to release games every year now.
And people want that again this year. But
now I know this one's nitpicky, but I also want to like discuss like their, and obviously that doesn't really apply nowadays because of the Backstreet Boys, but they're in, I want to say their meetup events. So like, not like just the tournament. Well, this kind of relates to the tournaments, but like when we were in DC and they did the Pokemon World, good times, horrible organization in that event. KG, remember when you were supposed to sign up for the Pokemon tournament?
Yes.
You signed up for the Pokemon tournament, and they had little to no adjustment for where people would go.
They forced everybody to be in the same line, and then they individually go and meet you to tell you where you need to be. But the thing that makes me so annoyed is that you could be in this long line, and then you'll find out, like, at the very end of the line, when you're starting to get closer, that, by the way, the actual line is over here for you. But they don't tell you this.
And then the line to get your and then the line to sign up for the VGC tournament was awful too, because like while you're doing that, you're signing it. They give you a paper to sign up for, but you have to sign up while you're waiting in line. So literally almost every minute I had to stop by some flat surfaced area and write down,
which they didn't have too many of.
And if you leave the line, your ass is going back to the end of the line. Like, who had time for this? All you had to do at that point was make a sign-up booth. Like, what? Like, this was
pre-COVID too.
Yeah, and it was pre-COVID too. Right. So obviously, like nowadays, I'm sure they have some convoluted system that's debatably worse. But back then, even then, I knew it was a mess. Like, it was a straight up mess. I believe we got lucky and managed to get our badges and everything. But to get the badges for entry and to sign up for tournaments was all lumped together into one line, and it was a straight up dumpster fire to get through.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
And
those ones are dog shit.
Yeah, they need to work on that. Like, they need to work on these things, and they're saying like what quality service? No. Not.
Dedicated to quality. Yeah, dedicated to freaking I don't know, dedicated to frustration.
Right.
That's more like it.
Exactly.
Dedicated to this organization.
I just don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen the video, so I can't really say much. But just of what you guys are saying, I feel like they have like this massive disconnect in this massive perception of how they see the community. Like, they think, it's this happy-go-lucky community that's doing all right, that there's nothing wrong in the world, and we're doing okay. When literally, for the past few years, it's been quite the opposite, and it's really disappointing, especially from a fucking media franchise that's pretty much at the top.
Oh yeah,
it's
right. They make hundreds of billions of dollars. Yet they can't do shit.
Yeah, I mean, I just get the impression that they're very self-centered and not really caring about the delivery of customer service or the customer satisfaction, at least. It's like
not only self-centered, but I feel like they're very stubborn.
Stubborn too, yeah.
They don't like change.
It's like, you do know you're one of the most popular franchises in the world within video games and pop culture, and you can't even deliver that kind of satisfaction to every fan out there.
Yeah, and you can't, and it goes to my other argument. You know, back to the other argument. You have enough money to pay Katy Perry to make a song for you, but then you have zero fucking interest in fucking getting the Japanese version, get it subbed, get it somewhere, even if it's a niche place. It's revenue that you didn't have before. You're going to get the people that left your ass. You know, when Goldfarb
literally the first thing that came into mind. Yeah.
Literally 5 years ago when Goldfarb took over, people left and people went to do illegal things. Why don't you get your asses back? Get the stuff that the people want, put it somewhere, and then you get the fucking revenue that you didn't have before. What is wrong? Get you your money. Now I understand. There are definite hurdles. There are hurdles with Seiyu contracts. There's definitely some sort of music licensing with Sony Music, but probably for the musical artists and not necessarily like Hayashi's music. And then there's the other problem of, how are you going to sub it? Are you going to put like all English names? Because people don't know what the fucking Japanese names are. So I can understand that there are hurdles for that. But then again, there are other series that don't have this problem and they're just as popular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they still make money. So
I think
TPCI doesn't want. So TPCI doesn't want money. That's basically what they don't. They don't want money.
Yeah, because they make excuses.
They make fucking excuses, and they always say like, "Oh, and then the only time that we get the fucking real music is when fucking Goldfarb goes to Japan. Like, what the fuck is that shit?
You know what's still fucking funny to this day? The fact that we would and I'm sure TSS can correct me on this if he sees inaccuracies, but it's still fine. I still find it funny that literally we got a full-on Japanese OST for movie 21 all because this motherfucker went on vacation.
Yeah,
like that's fucking pathetic. If that's what we have to, if that's what we need to achieve in order to get something that we should already be fucking having, or at least the option to. That's so sad.
Yeah, it's like give people the option. Choice is good. I mean, it's like. It's like on the fucking airline, chicken or beef. People like that option. People like to have the choice.
Variety is the spice of life. Yeah.
Yay. Let's see. Do you think the job? Okay, Ty asked. Do you think the jobs presented in that are hiring or are able to make big changes? No. Fuck no.
No.
They're not gonna be.
No.
You think after 25 years they would know? Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck
no. The job they're probably asking for like grunt
office
work, basically.
jobs.
Yeah,
office.
Yeah,
jobs.
You're not gonna storm in and create a Pokemon revolution, okay?
No, listen.
They created a battle revolution, and that fucking sucked.
You're not gonna bust into the door and say it's time for us to make some changes, and then Pokemon saved. Like, also, I wanted to talk about this one too.
Do they think they should fix their online events? I have not gone.
I was just about to bring up an online event, actually. So,
go for it.
The funny thing, so rankings are now live for Pokemon Sword and Shield Player Cup 3. So that actually gives you a chance if you're going in ranked battles to rank up so that you can make it into qualifiers for Players Cup 3. That's good. If you go to check that out, you'll also receive 50 battle points in the mystery gift section. So you can get your Battle Stadium rewards there too. So if you're planning on trying to do some VGC tournaments, like I know I probably might be going for, here's your chance to actually qualify for Players Cup 3. So yeah. There's your opportunity, and I'm sure we obviously have another thing to talk about in the video game stuff because obviously a game was announced, so we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah,
we got to talk about it.
So let's go ahead and talk about it.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna talk about Mayro.
Man,
fuck off.
No,
I mean, KG, if you want to talk about Mayro, go ahead.
I'll take a minute with it. Super Mario. First of all, I'm surprised you're not talking about it, given the biggest confirmation came out of it. Online co-op.
I already like expected you to cover that. We're getting it, and we're gonna fucking play it.
Yes, we're gonna have an online co-op playthrough of Super Mario 3D World. It's gonna be ludicrous.
Oh boy, I can't.
And it's gonna be on my channel.
Oh boy, I can't wait for that day one online service.
Yes, 3 frames per minute.
Yeah.
The only thing not lagging is them sweet tunes, because seriously, Super Mario 3D World has some of the best tunes in the Mario franchise.
There's a mushroom over here, boy.
Any minute now, 3 days later.
Oh my god.
But Bowser's furry. I'm excited for that as well. It looks chaotic as hell. It looks to be like an open world under the style of Odyssey, but under the 3D World game engine, and that's blowing me away. I wouldn't mind if we get a full game under 3D World's game engine, because the way they made it look in this one looks really, really intriguing. So everything about 3D World I like so far, but the online thing though, that to me is the most hype thing to be excited for the most. I cannot wait to try out the online co-op, and knowing that it's going to be for 4 people, I think there's a lot of potential that we can get out of it. So we'll see how things turn out as we approach the year into 3D World. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Aside from that though, speaking about online stuff, tomorrow, Tyrone, what are we going to try to do just to make sure with you? Because I know on your channel you wanted to do something for an online co-op game. I just didn't know what it was.
Oh, is he here?
Oh, no, I think he went BRB. Well, okay, I guess we'll figure it out. I also know tomorrow is going to be another Pokemon playthrough as well, so you're just co-op stuff, getting that out of the way. But now, I know the one he wanted to talk about, though, was Pokemon Snap. Or rather yet, new Pokemon Snap.
Could we just talk about
new Pokemon Snap?
Yes. All right.
New Pokemon Snap.
So what are we gonna bring up?
Mega Fury Bowser. We called him gay for the last time, and he got me.
He's no longer gay, Bowser. But I love the Japanese name that was supposedly the Japanese name because somebody said it, but in reality it wasn't. Although it would have been cool. Originally, somebody faked it to where it sounded like his Japanese name was called God Slayer Koopa, and I'm like, why couldn't we have that?
Man.
well, that don't matter. Anyway, on to the Pokemon Snap stuff right now. So, new Pokemon Snap. That game better be worth its money, man. I'm just saying. So far, visually though, I'll give him that. It looks fan-freaking-tastic. It's a beautiful looking game for the Switch.
Bandai Namco.
And yeah, it's Bandai Namco. They are known for their quality when it comes to this sort of stuff. But to have that looking just so crisp and clean, I'm loving what I'm seeing. And I cannot wait to see what kind of Pokemon are going to be present in this game. I hope to see my boy Zorua. I think the Subas are in there, if I'm correct. I have to double check on that. But another thing I'm also noticing as well, according to the cover of Pokemon Snap, one of the Galar Pokemon are not there. So I'm very happy to see that. Less recognition for the starter Pokemon always makes me happy. So congratulations to whoever it was that's not there. I don't remember who you are because I don't need to. But yeah. All right. So what do you guys have to say about new Pokemon Snap, though?
I'm looking forward to it, but I want to buy the Japanese version because I want the Japanese voice. I'm hoping that they have voice acting, but I don't think so. I'm hoping that it would be nice to have the anime voices.
The thing about it is that I think we talked about it in your stream at one point, talking about how one of the people who's the sound director for the anime retweeted.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. Oh yes, that's right. Masafumi Mima.
Yes.
Masafumi Mima, yeah.
So
yeah,
apparently
he
retweeted it.
So that means we're gonna get Suba.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens though if they do that.
I want it, but it's gonna be the other Suba, not the original because Ishizuka's gone.
Unless they somehow got the rights to reuse the voice.
Yeah, reuse the voice. Yeah, that would be. Oh man, that would be.
Hey man, that's not only just great, but also paying respect to the one who really made that Pokemon stand out for Japanese fans, of course,
Yeah, the thing is though, see, my concern is, am I gonna have to buy the Japanese cart to do that? If the answer to that is yes, then I'm buying the Japanese cart.
As of right now, we don't know the details. Normally, they will give it to us the sooner we approach the release date of the game.
Yeah, but I'll probably, but I would bet probably it's gonna be the same thing, like Sushi Striker, where you had to buy the assets for the Japanese version are on the Japanese cart, and then it all depends on, and then the language is all dependent on your system language. If that is the case, here, then it looks like I'm gonna have to do some CD Japan shit going on here.
It'd be pretty nice if with the Switch dock you can actually play Pokemon Snap with motion control, just like you would with the camera.
Oh my god, please make my Labo actually be useful. I have a Labo camera, man. Let me use that. You know how cool this shit would be with Labo? Oh my god, I'm gonna be starting to snap pics with my Labo camera looking around. That shit would be a system seller. If they do a bundle where they have Pokemon Snap with the Labo camera, bro, that shit's gonna be gangbusters. It's gonna sell out the goddamn window, man. I'm telling you right now. Do that shit. I guarantee you 100% that's gonna sell. For certain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, also make it exclusive to where, because I know Labo, they actually provide stickers. Make it like to where if you buy the Pokemon Snap bundle, you also get some Pokemon stickers to put for your camera, bro. Please.
Oh, stickers. Yeah, I definitely love that.
Exactly. You just make it feel unique. You know that's the whole premise. You have these concepts here. You have these mechanics that you can use. Incorporate that. It's literally prints money, and I know these people love their money, so why not make more money? All right.
Yeah.
So, what were we gonna say prior to that, though, Evie?
I was just checking around. It's like, yeah, I'm a professional photographer.
Yeah, look at my Canon camera. It's made of cardboard. Yeah, don't you know? It's the latest model.
One thing I am curious. Yeah. I'm very curious about that phenomenon where near the end of the trailer you get to see this giant Meganium. I want to know what that's all about.
That's the thing. Why Meganium's getting all this love all of a sudden? I mean, first of all, to see some Johto Pokemon get some love, I'm very happy to see that. Because Meganium, I think, is one of the more hated final evolutions. So to see it finally get some love and recognition is actually a very cool thing to see. I'm very happy they're starting to use the starters in a more approachable way here. So that's all I got to say on that part.
I want to know something because I've only had very little experience with Pokemon Snap, but have they, on the original Pokemon Snap game, had they featured any shiny Pokemon?
No.
This was pre-Generation 2. So the shiny Pokemons weren't a thing until Generation 2 hopped into the scene.
That's correct.
Okay. I just think it'll be pretty nice to finally feature some shiny Pokemon, and if they still happen to take a snapshot of it, maybe they could probably post it online for us to share.
I mean, you have the Switch camera. I would feel like you should be given the opportunity to post that on social media, especially given how popular it is to do so.
I think I do that. I'm not too.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident we will get to post them online, but I'm just saying that shit better be available immediately. But I guess one last thing to know, given we're also talking about Pokemon, let's talk about that DP thing going on too, because earlier in the week, people started saying, especially from I think it was Poke Central, whatever it was called.
Let me know if y'all need a rundown that Reddit.
Yeah, well, I don't think I do, only because I don't recall Poke Central talking about it. The Central Leaks normally tends to talk about this stuff, but they mentioned that Diamond and Pearl is coming out this year, as stated before. It's going to be a remake.
I didn't get to talk about the Snap thing, but
we did. So.
Okay.
Well, Tyrone, okay, I do apologize. If you want to take the chance to talk about it, we'll talk about it right now.
I mean, okay, so for me, I'll keep it brief too, so we can move on to the damn controversy that keeps haunting me till the day I fucking die. So, Pokemon Snap. If you guys watched my Twitch channel recently, I want to say on Thursday? Did we do this on Thursday or Sunday?
It was Thursday because Sunday you were doing
Digimon. Yeah, it was Thursday.
Yeah, it was Thursday. So on Thursday, I actually streamed me playing the original Pokemon Snap because I never really got the chance to play that game. I played it once at a Blockbuster standee, and then that was it. That was my only real knowledge of it. Because at that time, I was playing Pokemon Stadium, and that took over my life. So I played it, and as a newcomer coming into something that literally is 20 years old, I can say I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing Pokemon Snap. That the one, And I really hope that they keep that interaction that you have with the environment. I hope it's not just, oh, you take pictures of Pokemon. I wanted reasons to go back and find new stuff that I didn't know before if I threw an apple at the forest or something. Like, I want those moments where I throw a pester ball at a certain Pokemon and knocks into another Pokemon to create like this egg that hatches and creates a legendary Pokemon to show up so I can take pictures of it. I like moments where it was almost like a puzzle game in a sense. It was almost like a puzzle. Like, you had to figure out certain things in order to like have a chain reaction to something else. And the fact that they're having more Pokemon in this means that I hope they're not just in the wild. I hope they're not just on display for us to take pictures of so easily. I hope that literally we get an area that has the Pokemon and you got to do something in order to make that area flourish with more Pokemon that you wouldn't see in any normal situation. But it's up to us, and it's up to them to do that. And I hope they're not just gnawing on the fact that, oh, kids grew up with this. Like, I really hope they don't use nostalgia as their engine to go to sell this game, because right now it's $60 and I see no reason why it needs to be $60. So until they can prove otherwise, and I think I heard you guys briefly mention like social media opportunities, like being able to post it on like Facebook and Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Things like that. Like, that stuff literally sells itself, but you're going to have to find a way to make it more of a mission to do what normal players can't just pull off on their first playthrough to justify my $60 purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And I want these to be actual secrets, nothing that you can like figure out the minute you get the damn game. So yeah, that's my stance on Pokemon Snap. I had a lot of fun with it. If they're gonna bank on this nostalgia, then they need to find a way to recapture the magic and effort that you had to do as a player in order to interact with the game. So that's my opinions. Carry on.
But no, the reason why, real quick, the reason why I kind of, I'm not going to go for the entirety of the damn post, but it's too long, because it's too long. But I just want to give like a very short summary of what the post entitled, not necessarily the details, unless we care that much about it. So that was all I wanted to add to that.
All right, so go away and say what you got to say about that, buddy.
All right. Well, first of all, I do want to give a shout out to Evo Omnitrix, who gave me the link to this. Now, granted, as always, folks, whenever we get rumor posts like this, take it with a grain of salt and don't, go with the assumption that it's essentially true. Because if you do that, well, it's a tough time for you.
Yeah.
But no, basically, the gist of the post is that basically this is a quote unquote staff member within the inside, air quotes. And basically, the person has posted on Reddit about the contents of a Pokemon Direct that supposedly began filming on the 13th, and basically the aim date, well, not the actual date, but the month for this Pokemon Direct would be, next month. The topics within are obviously going to be talking about the new Pokemon Snap, which we've already seen. The next one would be Detective Pikachu 2. More about Pokemon Unite, which is something I've been waiting to see. Pokemon Sweep, if people remember that shit. And then there's the other things, which is the typical 25th anniversary plus the music event, promotion for the cards, and the general promotion of the general products. So shit like, new Pokemon 25th anniversary shirts, shoes, and whatever. And of course, the thing that I've been dreading, and actually me and Tyrone, I should say, have been dreading, the reveal of the remake, which is, I don't need to say, Diamond and Pearl. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the Reddit post much longer, because there's not very much I can. Well, it's not that there's not any sustainable information. It's just that most of the other information is pretty generic. Like, they talk about like some stuff that they're going to release, like I've already mentioned, like food-related products, figures, plushies. The shit that we've already seen, that we've seen before, that they've done for the anniversaries.
Right.
So I would give my opinion about the Diamond and Pearl remakes. But I do want to, be generous enough and give it off to the host so he can lead us off for this topic, and I'll come back to it.
KJ, it's
That will be you, KP.
Oh, well, I know. I just realized I was speaking while the thing was still red for some reason, and I hit the button.
You're good. I just wanted to be generous.
Don't worry, but thank you. I appreciate that. So what I was actually trying to say when I was muted was that I've been looking into the page. I saw the information. It talks about all these various games, and honestly, I mean, there isn't anything really in there that's like super wow factor for me for the 25th. I'm very happy that they're really going out of their way to try to branch out in parts that you don't normally see them go into, like with the whole Pokemon music stuff with collaborating with artists. Apparently the album's supposed to be like 11 tracks total.
I forgot Detective Pikachu 2, excuse me.
Yes, which is supposedly a continuation / a remake of the original game, but still have some extra content at the end of it to kind of solidify the story's conclusion and try to give a good ending to the game itself. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. I'm curious to see all the accessories that they're going to start releasing as well. For Pokemon fans this year, I think it's going to be very cost heavy if you are into this sort of stuff. So I'm not sure about one thing in particular about the DP remake, because they stated that yes, they might show something, but it might just be a logo and that's it. Similar to like how Sun and Moon was handled. Do you guys remember how Sun and Moon reveals was?
Or
I remember.
Or maybe concept drawing.
Looking back at that, I don't want to comment on that sudden moment. Looking back, that was the most bullshit ass thing they've ever done to us.
I love the trailer. I loved the trailer, but it would have paid off beautifully had they had a Sun and Moon trailer literally tied to that at the end.
How whipped do you have your audience when all you have to do is just show some funky ass titles
and screen and like drawings of a Picky Peck, you know?
Yeah, like that's fucked. I hate that. I hate that. I miss when trailers used to legitimately put in the effort to make you want to buy something. Now they're just like, we're fucking Pokemon, so you're gonna get it, bitch. Here's a title. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, like somebody got paid $5 to make that title, and it's like, oh yeah, go fuck.
I could have made a better fucking trailer than that.
Honestly, I think the last good one. Well, I remember the last reveal trailer, at least until Sword and Shield, at least, was X and Y, where I was genuinely hyped off of the first thing we ever saw globally. But Sun and Moon did not continue that trend for God knows why.
Yeah, they had because I think that was one of my favorite trailers that they did for the Sun and Moon one, where they had all the various logos appear one after another with the intense music playing in the background. They would show Red Blue, Gold Silver, Ruby Sapphire, DP, BW, and X and Y, and then leading up to the big finale, which is Sun and Moon. But the closest you got to that was just Sun and Moon, the logo, and these promotional artworks that they were working on, as well as like just some drafts and drawings and a 3D model of a bird, and that's it. And I was like, that's pretty disappointing. So I hope they don't pull that stunt again for the 25th anniversary, because that's gonna hurt hard. Because it's like, we know you're gonna have it this year. If you're gonna announce it now, rather than just saying, "Oh, it's coming," and you'll get more information later in the year. We already know it's gonna come.
We gotta talk about the punk ass. Oh, you guys talked about the punk ass DP remakes.
Barely. I gave it off to Kevin. So
yeah. Overall, the DP remakes. There's not much to say on it though, Tyrone, because it's literally a remake. The only thing I'm going to say is I'm going to be so mad if they don't be faithful to the game and make us wait a minute just to see Blissy's HP go down from what was max HP to 0. if they don't follow through with that, then this game is trash.
Which brings me to this. If the DP remakes are going to happen this year, I hope it doesn't, because I really wanted to take their time on this and make sure that it's game.
I don't want it to
fucking
exist. I don't want them to fucking exist, period.
No. I agree with you. I'm just saying no. I don't want it to come this year.
It's going to come this year because they have to celebrate something for the 25th anniversary, man.
Some spin-off games. They've done that already.
But is that really the main thing that they're going to sell for the 25th anniversary, though? Think about it.
That is enough. They don't need them DP remakes.
The only thing they could have done to celebrate, if they wanted to have the DP remakes come out at a later time, but have something still out for this year, they could have done what people were talking about, the compilation game for the first 3 gens.
I'm just saying. Remember, guys, when we got our Gen 3 remakes and nobody fucking talked about them? I'm just saying.
That's what I'm worried about. I just don't want to
I
have it with
literally
DP.
saw ORS on Twitter for a month and nobody ever talked about it ever again. It's like it didn't even exist.
To be fair, everybody was talking about the anime, so.
Pull up ORS right now. Pull up ORS right the fuck now. Nobody cares. Terrell is a Gen 3 gamer. He loves Gen 3 and he doesn't even like ORS. What the fuck does that tell you? Do we need this? Do we need this remake?
Somebody said we don't need HDSS. I'll take you take that, buddy. You take that back, buddy.
That was an actually good game. Even if you made that game take place in another region, it still would have just been a good game. That's how you make a good game.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Okay?
Okay.
Listen to me out. This is completely out of left field. It's going to be completely wrong, but I'm going to try anyway.
All right, let's hear it.
Imagine if Game Freak were to make a new game in 2D retro style.
That's what I've been asking for years. Ever since the shift to 3D, I've been heavily pushing. It would be so cool to see, like they're doing with Sonic, where there's like the 2D and the 3D. Have the 2D have its own saga, but you should do the 2D specifically for the remakes and the 3D for the main core sequels. So Generation 9 could have been the 3D stuff. Generation 2, or not Generation 2, but remakes could have been the 2D style because you're paying homage.
Yeah, but what I mean is a either like a spin-off game or a game that it's in the same universe but different, but it's a 2D throwback retro game.
No, but I'm saying like I don't know about this game that many might not know of. Octopath Traveler. That's out on the Nintendo Switch. That is a perfect game that you could try doing, where it's purely like this 2-dimensional world with 3-dimensional background and effects. And it plays beautifully. Yeah.
Oh my god! Maybe imagine 2.5D Pokemon game. It'll make that that Pokemon fan game from like what was it? 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Remember when one guy actually made that? It was like a 2.5D 3D remake of Johto.
Yes.
Imagine like make something like that.
Shit.
That's what I'm saying. But you do it only for you only do it for the remakes, because the remakes are technically based on the on the pixel art style. It only feels appropriate if you want to pay homage to the remakes. Still keep it in the pixel art, but improve upon it, because there's so much charm in the pixel art part that they're not taking full advantage of ever since the shift into Generation 6 and onward. They just completely scrapped something that made Pokemon so full of charm from the first 5 gens.
I swear, if I'm right, then you're gonna see me do.
Listen. I'm hoping 100% you are right on this one, because I've been pleading for this. I need something refreshing, and this will be a nice change of pace. Yeah. I will love it because it won't harm the 3D development of their upcoming generation games, and it'll still give them.
It was It was called the Pokemon fan game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I'm asking for. I think there's a lot of potential for that, and I would root 100% if they were to do.
Because wouldn't it be right? It's 25th anniversary, right? And you're going to go back to your roots, right?
And what were the roots? 2D or pixel art.
2D, yeah. But just imagine this. I'm just gonna throw out an idea because because why the fuck not? I'm having a brainstorm right now.
Imagine
we have a 2D Pokemon adventure that throws back to the old style, but then you can select which style you wanted.
Like a pure black and white 8-bit.
If you wanted Dragon Quest Gen 1, Gen 2 graphics, if you wanted Gen 3 graphics, if you wanted Gen 4 like graphics, and you want Gen 5 like graphics, wouldn't that be nice?
So like Dragon Quest 11 pages.
Yes. Kind of like that. If you want like the Game Boy style graphics, the GBA style graphics, or the DS style graphics. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yep.
That would be. Will you guys be down for another mystery dungeon game now with Sun and Moon and the Gone Are
I'm
Pokemon?
not even a Mystery Dungeons fan, and I feel like
listen. You guys already know I am. I already love the remake that they did for Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team. I think it's really great. I also enjoyed the fact that they didn't even like remix the songs, but they just enhanced the original sound font and just up the ante with that one. But if they were to say make a brand new Mystery Dungeon game in the same art style that they did for the remakes, I'm all down for that. I just don't expect to see it anytime soon, given that that just came out not too long ago. Sadly, it's going to be one of those games that I feel a lot of people aren't really going to be talking much about because it's something you only can enjoy yourself and not really show off to others.
Or for people, or just imagine like fucking mystery, like XD or fucking Coliseum remake.
Yeah,
that's long overdue.
Oh, that could work too.
Yeah, there's a lot that they have right then and there. Take advantage of it. That's my thing.
I'm just saying. Here's the moment I knew that the Oras remake. I'm just using Oras because it's the most recent remake. Because Diamond and Pearl, not Diamond and Pearl. I'm sorry. Heart Gold and Soul Silver at least had the decency to add stuff that made it, that gave it its own identity, but still followed the Johto stuff. For example, Pokemon being able to follow you. To this day, they still added something that I think the other games didn't add. Well, I think it's automatic in Sword and Shield now, so it doesn't matter. But they added the thing where if you press the run button, you can just press it once and it stays highlighted and you run forever. That's it. You don't have to hold B anymore. And then they took it away in Black, White, and all the other games after. And Pokemon follow you in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That's adding stuff and making it better. Oras, I knew something was wrong the minute I looked at my bottom screen and saw the XY shit. I'm like, y'all have to ask the fuck out of this, didn't y'all? Where's the Battle Frontier? It ain't here? Okay. All right. Y'all literally pissed what y'all...
Oh, no. It's there. It's in construction.
Yeah, it's under construction, buddy.
The minute I saw all of that, I was like, y'all fucked up. Y'all literally did the bare ass minimum. Y'all turned Malball City into a fucking disaster. Y'all, like, this is what you're getting when you're getting a remake. You're getting half-assed the work. And everybody's like, oh, and immediately after Gen 3's remake, people started asking for Gen 4's remake. That's what pissed me off, too. I'm just like, what? Are you... Then what was the point of crying for this? Like, I'm just saying, like, this regurgitation is not the way to go. I definitely promote creativity and originality that may flop versus regurgitation that may or may not succeed.
Yeah, like I said,
I just don't want that to happen for their 25th anniversary.
I just want to see 2D remake, a 2D retro game in the same style as the main series game, but selecting the the art style that you want to play into it. That's basically all I want to ask. Are they going to do it? Probably not, because Game Freak is a relatively small company and they don't have the resources for that.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy to think about that, by the way. That they're a small company with the biggest funding out there.
But I've seen other companies that are small that have proven that the smallness is fine, though, because the talent compensates for it.
Yeah, because there's some indie games. There's some indie games that make better games than Game Freak. So
but like, see, the thing with the indie games is that they're still like 2D-ish, you know.
Yeah.
Here they're going for full-on 3D, open world kind of adventure.
I personally like the hand-drawn style. Hell, Way Forward had Shantae, and that looks good to this day.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to go back to the past for 1 year. There's so much charm.
Play the shitty games that suck ass.
Yeah. I fell into that.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you got me there.
I'm definitely down for that.
Yeah,
if they allow for more customization options too for your character.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? It would be. I think that in and of itself would be a seller. It'll be an instant hit.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like kind of like the same vein as kind of like Super Mario Maker, except obviously you're not making your own adventure. But I'm just saying, like, you can select which style you wanted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So again, just make a new story in the 2D retro style. Select your style of gameplay, your art style, and then just play. Yeah. So why not?
No, we don't like in comic cartoon. We don't hate the 3D games. The hell, Sword and Shield to me is fun. I like Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah, Sword and Shield is absolutely fun.
Yeah,
but I think
I'm
for
just saying,
25th
like,
anniversary,
well,
we
not
need,
even-
need
yeah.
to honor their roots. I mean, they say it in their fucking video, which they're lying, but it's like honoring the integrity, right? Honoring the integrity would be making
I
this
would
fucking
assume you have
game.
any.
No, listen, we don't hate 3D games. We hate half-assed games.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
There's a
Cyberpunk
difference,
2077.
I'm noticing that they're putting stuff in other spin-off games and side games that people have been wanting in the main games for years. Like KG, I remember you said you looked at Pokemon Unite for a second only because you're able to dress your Pokemon up.
Which is something I've been clamoring for a while now. And they
Like
put it
little
in the other
shit.
game. Which, mind you,
Right.
it only makes sense that they did it here given that the roster is smaller. But it would be
Well,
nice
yeah.
to see more of that in, like, the future games. I'm just saying,
Also-
customization to make your Pokemon more unique aside from just the trainer itself, you know?
Ultra
Yeah.
Sun and Ultra Moon should have never existed.
It
Yeah,
shouldn't.
they shouldn't have. I feel like they existed strictly for fan demand, and the biggest victim of Oras was XY. XY got the worst damage because of it.
Yeah, no
It didn't
Z.
get the chance. Yeah, it didn't get the chance to be complete because people kept whining about Gen 3 remakes.
I can't wait when the remakes for X and Y come out.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
we're just skipping black and white altogether.
Shut up.
You
Bruh,
know they're
I
gonna
swear to
butcher
fucking
black and
God.
white, man. I don't want them to touch perfection, man.
Yeah.
Pokemon C
Shit
remains
alone.
dead, huh?
Exactly. And I still have to play black to white too, man. One
I
of these
still
days
haven't
I'll still
finished
get
up.
to that.
I still haven't finished up Ultramoon, so that says a
Yeah,
lot.
don't worry. You're
Yeah,
not
me
missing
neither.
out on
Me
much.
neither.
No. See, here's the difference. That is fine, but have you at least played Black 2 and White 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
What?
KG hasn't.
Oh, finally, another fellow member. Welcome aboard, Evie.
Well,
God damn.
we're special. you know.
Exactly. We're a special kind of fan, man.
Yeah.
We suck, basically.
I do want to give my 2 cents real quick because I know there's the episode to talk about, so I'll make it brief.
Don't worry, buddy. Take it away.
Yeah, so obviously I'm in the same boat as Tyrone. I moan against the idea that, hey, these fucking remakes are, I guess, on the horizon at this point. And to me, I feel like it's a very tired model of business for Pokemon because we keep going back to it. Now, of course, I understand why they did the first 2 remakes, aka Fire Red and Leaf Green and Heart Gold Silver, because they actually had reasons to exist. And it was quick timing. It felt like with Oras, we didn't really need it. It was just more so like people want it and they got it. But as it's already been mentioned, once we got it, it kind of just died down. Like no one was really talking about it after like a short period of time. And not long after that, the people wanted, the fucking Diamond Pearl remakes. And I'm like, I get why people want Diamond Pearl remakes. I'm not here to say, oh, you're not allowed to have that opinion. I am never that type of person to say you can't think what you think. But what I am saying though is that I just don't think the DP remix should happen because Pokemon as a franchise has literally gotten a remake so often that it's gotten kind of repetitive. Because I feel like if they can do consistent original ideas as it did in the past, I don't see how they can't do it here in the current time where it's a lot more encouraged and it's a lot more streamlined. I don't see how they can't do it. I mean, I'd be more than happy with a fucking mystery dungeon game that has like the aesthetics of a 25th anniversary. Like I'd be with that.
It's sad that the most interesting thing that happened in Pokemon Oras was the Delta episode to me. And weirdly,
they spoiled that shit.
No, they spoiled it I think the day before the damn game came out.
Yes, they did.
I think it was a week.
Yeah, and sadly, no, it was the day before. It was literally the day.
Okay,
before.
that's even worse.
But the saddest part about the reason that was the most interesting thing is because it strays away from the damn story. Like, the story of Ruby and Sapphire of Gen 3 is good when you've seen it the one time, but you can't recapture lightning in a bottle. Like, you're not gonna get the same, like, just because it's in 3D, it's not gonna bring the same level of hype that it brought before. It just, I don't know. I don't see the appeal. I honestly don't see the appeal. I see no reason we can't just re-release the games, put them in a Ruby / Sapphire and Emerald package or a Diamond and Pearl package and put those on the Switch for the virtual console or whatever, and just do that. I don't think we need to waste time and energy on a Gen 4 remake. That's been my stance on it for a while.
Now that goes into, well, sorta, but just to end off, my comment before we move on.
Yeah.
If we do have to do something for this fucking generation, because as much as have said many times here on this podcast or in this episode that we don't want to see this shit to happen, we're not stupid. We think no matter what we say, Game Freak is still probably going to do it because that's been their model of business, and it's dog shit. So, in an attempt just to be a little bit more, I guess, open, whatever, even though I'm way. If they still want to do something for Generation 4 that would require like a new game or whatever, I do have a couple ideas, and I've said one of the ideas before. So basically, the first I want to talk about is not necessarily a Diamond or Pearl remake, but I kind of want them to do, which I know is probably not going to happen. I kind of want Diamond or Pearl to take a page out of Black 2 and White 2, and just make a sequel story. I don't see how they can't do it. I mean,
seems interesting.
That I'm behind.
Yeah, I'm
not that. Now here's the proponents. You can still go back to Gen. But you can also make new characters. You can make a new story, and you can add new elements to the game. I don't see that. It really doesn't have much brain to come up with like a pretty good story. But is that their priority? We will see.
And also, the second idea, finally get a conclusion to
it's
the Galactic
This is more so like an endorsement. Yeah. It's more so like an endorsement of what we said before. But basically, if we have to deal with Diamond or Pearl as straight up ports for the virtual console, then I'm fine with that. I just don't think they should put their energy onto a Diamond or Pearl remake. What I think they should do is improve the main fucking game that they already have. That's what they should do. But if they still want to be a little bit nitpicky, still have their Diamond or Pearl, then I wouldn't mind a DLC that kind of adds a bit of extension. Well, extension in the sense of like go to another fucking island or whatever. That's like Sinnoh heavy or whatever. Maybe like another DLC in terms of that, and just put that in the Sword and Shield while also emphasizing the general improvements of the game. I'd be fine with that. Mm-hmm. But will we get it? No, because this fucking company is so stubborn on remakes. They will never consider anything that's.
It's not that they're stubborn on remakes. It's more so. I want to say this. I think it's just fans. The fans don't know what the hell they want sometimes, man.
Oh no, we
trigger these things to happen, and when these things happen and we hate it, there's really no one else to blame but us, really, because we're the ones that keep requesting this sort of shit.
Exactly.
So, not me. Because here's the thing. I've never requested for the ORAS remakes. I'll never for remakes. So but no, those are my ideas for how they should approach Diamond or Pearl. And that's not a full-on fucking remake, because I just think at some you have to stop with the repetitiveness and be a little bit more unique with your taste and what you come with to the table, because it's absolutely ridiculous that for a fucking media franchise that's one of the biggest in the world and all this money that they're making, they have the fucking mindset of a fucking stubborn 5-year-old kid that only wants to eat fucking chocolate pudding on a Friday night, when instead they can go for like a vanilla apple shake or whatever,
Right.
Like
Gotcha.
give us like, be innovative, open up your fucking choices, and let's do this shit. Stop with the remakes. That's it.
Yeah, they need to try new ideas, because they got to take more risks. You got to take more risks, because at this point they're doing the same shit. They've been doing the same shit now If you want to go back, we're talking about over 10 years. They've been doing the same
Beating a
shit.
dead horse.
Be innovative, you say? Ah, so you mean make a completely new album based on popular artists and have them sing songs for Pokemon? Got you, man. Good news.
Yeah, we didn't
DPCI
do
is
that
doing
out
that.
here.
You got your request, Richie. Congratulations.
All right. Okay, let's spin the Pokeball. Let's get going.
Yeah,
All
let's
right
get this
then.
shit going.
So thank you everybody for tuning in on the whole segment on that. Let's now go and talk a little bit about, and by a little bit, I'm pretty confident we're going to talk about this for a good while. So strap in, boys and girls. This is going to be a doozy of an episode that will be filled with a lot of, I hope, good shit. So everybody, let's go and talk about the recent episode of Pokemon Journeys. Otherwise known as Pokemon.
Tasso?
Huh?
Why did Tasso?
Special guest Tasso?
Yeah, so I actually talked with him a year before, and we started. So, as you guys have been noticing lately, we've been having a nice little fun time collaborating with artists every single week and people every week. So, this week, ladies and gentlemen, we got our boy Tasso in on this, and it seems like we also got the whole crew unintentionally from the Gotta Catch Up podcast as well.
We're doing the second crossover already.
Yeah, there you go. So.
Well, they're actually
We're just missing DJ, but that's pretty much it.
Deej, where the hell are you at, buddy?
Yeah.
DJ, it's not your fault.
Damn it, he's not here. But
Too busy playing with socks. Ugh.
oh damn
But
it.
hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, buddy. During last minute calls, man. I
no
knew that match of
problem.
Among Us would be in handy when it comes to communicating with you guys, and I'm so
Oh
happy.
yeah, for sure. That's the only way to communicate with anyone these days.
Seriously. But I'm very happy to see you here, buddy. We have a lot to talk about for this episode overall. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm very excited to hear what everyone has got to say. Hold on, let me just reset this real quick if I can. All right, so yeah, let's get ourselves right into it. So, as you guys know, this is the Farfetch'd focus episode. It's going to be interesting to talk. Oh, by the way, we actually got somebody following us as well. To study bro, Dizzy Fish. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Step Bro Dizzy.
Appreciate it. Now let's get into the episode. Farfetch'd Focus. After how many episodes has it been since we've last seen Come On in an actual focused episode? We even joked about it last week how it wasn't even in the Darkest Day arc as well. Here we finally get to see Farfetch'd get some love. Having two fights actually in this one episode. One fight which emphasizes one of the good aspects of Farfetch'd, while the other fight actually shows off the negative sides of Farfetch'd and the potential that this Pokemon actually holds. So, yeah, I think the first person we should hand this off to, in my opinion, is to Tasso and see what he has to say about the episode overall. And from there, we'll go and pass it on to everyone else. I do have some complaints I want to say, but I'll save mine towards the end. So I'll hold on my thoughts till the very end for that, because I feel like I might accidentally go overboard on something that I probably shouldn't. So I'll take this time to reflect on that before I get into my whole debacle.
I got myself.
All right, but Tasso, if you're here, buddy, I would like for you to go in first and take it away, pal.
Oh yeah, thank you. I can only imagine the things you guys have to say about this episode. I mean, I just reacted to it on Sunday, but you know, me looking at Twitter, I did see a lot of controversy in the first 10 minutes of the episode. I tried to ignore it, you know, have my own opinion, not let other people's opinions dictate how I felt about the episode. But ultimately, I kind of agree with them. And now, and I know you're kind of like making this whole episode thing like about the first 10 minutes, like the decision they're making behind certain decisions and, you know, them skipping certain battles and stuff. So I'll keep it short because obviously everyone here has an opinion on that. First off, I want to say that the episode was animated phenomenally. I did not think I'd enjoy the episode as much as I did. The battle between Kamon and I already forgot the guy's name. Girder, yeah. I did not expect them to go that hard in the animation. I was reacting to the episode with Richie and another fellow special guest, which you guys will find out soon enough if you guys tune into my channel. But yeah, the episode was like I could not stop talking about how good the the eye shadowing is, just the cinematography, and just how long in general the battle was. I did not expect this battle to last longer than more than half of the episode. Usually, I think the longest battle we've had so far before this episode was the Ash versus B episode battle. But this one overtook it for whatever reasons. And I'm not complaining. I mean, more battle time, more battle animation. The stakes are higher. Who will win? Who will lose? And ultimately, I thought that Ash was going to lose, but that was not the case. Now, to talk about the beginning, the controversy behind this episode, why did we skip those battles that a lot of people, I think it's split half and half at this point. A lot of people didn't seem to mind them skipping all those battles to get Ash to the super class rank or getting him closer to the next rank. And then others obviously did mind because, those battles obviously have a struggle with the Pokemon trying to win. And, for us not to see, Gengar, Dragonite, Riolu, Pikachu struggle to get that W, it kind of makes these battles a little more meaningless because at the end of the day, it's like you don't know if they've been powering up, if it was by luck that they won those previous battles or not. And for this one, we clearly saw a struggle between Sir Farfetch and, again, Grover, right? Or what's his name again?
Girder.
Bring it
up, because we're talking about fucking Gen 5 here, because it's fucking great.
Yeah. So, you could only imagine if, the struggles that these Pokemon might have had, just like how Farfetch'd had in this episode. We didn't get to see it, which is unfortunate because you don't know how that battle would have turned out if the stakes were even higher than before. And, I truly agree with a lot of the people on Twitter saying that it was just a missed opportunity overall. So hopefully they continue to, maybe they hear our criticism on that and they don't do that again in the future. But obviously these episodes are already animated and scripted and ready to go. So maybe in the near future, they won't do that again. And then that guy, I'm just going to call him Wally, the one spectating Ash and his battle with Farfetch. I don't see the reason why he's in the episode. I felt like more time could have been used for Sir Farfetch kind of analyzing man, I almost lost this battle. Maybe I should quit giving Ash this attitude and maybe listen to him more. Because there are times during the battle where I thought Sir Farfetch was doing his own thing. He was just going to attack on his own.
It's not a Sir Fetched yet. It's just Galarian Farfetch'd.
Galarian Farfetch'd, right. So, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't go that route, but we're introduced to this guy, Discount Wally, we'll say, by Kenzar. But yeah, I did see at the end of the episode, I did see his point, why he was there, just to kind of let Galarian Farfetch know that there are people out there who are stronger than him, and you need to use every loss to your advantage by learning how to not make that same mistake again. And I guess I did enjoy that, but I don't know. I felt like the episode would have been better without him there and gone the route that I was talking about. But overall, I did surprisingly enjoy the episode, even though with the huge decision they made to skip those battles in the beginning. Obviously, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But dude, the animation, I gotta say, you truly never expect them to go that hard on an episode until you watch it. And that's why people need to I know Journeys is a controversial series overall, whether it be the plot, the direction they're going, the continuity, or whatever reason. Just give the episode a watch before you actually criticize it, because you'll be surprised. I mean, I told you my mentality for this episode was my expectations were low. I'm like, all right, this is a development episode for Farfetch. He's not gonna, he's gonna maybe disobey Ash, and that's gonna be the whole trope. Okay, he realizes that he has to listen to Ash, and that's the way to win. But no, there's actually there's another thing that snaps him out of the whole, I'm the best. I get to do things my own way. But yeah, hopefully in the future they people will just watch the episode before they criticize it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, I enjoyed the episode. If I were to rate it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, if anything. I mean, the battle animation was on point. The stakes were, I feel personally, were high with the amount of battling Farfetch did. And I mean, I feel like I would have given this episode an 8 had discount Wally not been there. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's overall what I think of the episode. And yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, obviously, too.
I'm going to go next. All right, hey, DJ. Here we go. Now we have the fucking crew together.
Hey,
there we go.
So, before we have DJ going, I want to talk about my shit because I want to make some things clear. I gave it an 8.5, but I'll tell you, I'm going to go against some of Taso's points here because we like to do that. We like to disagree. First of all, with the whole rank shifting, first of all, we lost 6 weeks because of the Backstreet Boys. That's number one, so it fucked up the timing. Number two, would you rather just see do you really want to see 2-minute squash matches with Joe Blow trainer number 69? I think the answer is no, because people complain about.
I mean, but you can argue that the trainers that Ash did get rank ups with were Joe Blows at some point, like the Meganium trainer. Who the fuck is that? Like,
yeah, but I'm just saying.
I'm not accepting that excuse.
But I'm just saying. The problem is you had those two in combination, right? So people complain about how these short matches are shit. So you have people that are complaining the off-screen land shit, and you have the people complaining that some of these matches are too fucking short. So nobody wins. Okay, nobody wins. So in my opinion, it's fine. They had to wake up for 6 weeks.
That's not true. They've shown that they can handle it like really well before.
But
like
again,
in the Orange Hearing episode where Go is with his group and he catches a couple of Pokemon. And while that's happening, Ash fights another trainer to rank up his Pokemon in World Championships. Like they've proven that they can do both.
Sure. Okay. Sure. That's your opinion. I'm talking about my opinion. Okay. Next part. So Rinto. Rinto is fine because this now opens the door for another rivalry. And I think that's what this needs. He needs another rival for this specific season. I think that's cool that we finally have. First of all, we have fucking Gallade that actually means something. Okay? So now people that like Gallade, that's cool. Rinto is like this, like I said, people, Tasso said a discount Wally. Well, that's good because Wally was never in the fucking anime to begin with. So cool. Nice reference.
Like Wally. The only connection him and Wally have is that they both have Gallade.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it just looks that way. Okay, fine. Third of all, animation, because Iwane did the freaking key animation himself. That's enough said. Okay, and this is one of those episodes is where I consider this is Pokemon episode. This is the classic. This is what Pokemon is about. The battle that lasts like 8 minutes. Really cool sequences. Some of it, yes, were remade, but remember, one guy did the key animation. One guy. And he made it look so great. Okay? Also, for the folks counting at home, I believe this week it was Shiratori version 1 for the re-air and Fshigina Ikimono for the original broadcast. Once again, they had the whole thing where the jungle report for movie 2023 was the last segment as it was last week. So that's another thing that they're doing there. Also, Kamon finally in the fucking credits is credited right. We have once again the first one was the Annie Image thing for the February issue where Shinichiro Miki is credited as the Seiyu, and now we finally get fucking Kamon's Seiyu being listed in the fucking credits.
After credit
after all this fucking time. The battle was great. I think it was well paced. I think though that Rinto's thing was needed. I think it's proof that Kamon is not in control yet. Doesn't want to listen to Satoshi, and now we have a rival that can enable. And finally, we get to see development for Kamon after all this fucking time. We finally get to fucking see it. We're gonna see a fucking rivalry develop, and I like that. So 8.5 for me. Next.
All right. So first of all, as stated beforehand, hey DJ, how you doing, buddy? If you're there.
I'm doing great. I didn't see the episode. I just came in the cameo, so see you later.
Holy shit!
Oh my
Oh my god, he's in a parking lot.
Whoa! Is he dead? Whoa!
Oh god. I did not
DJ spoke
expect
to us
that.
from a different dimension.
He's in the shadow realm, my dude.
Right, I think he's in the shadow realm. Holy
Someone
shit!
He just came here and left.
He was in the void.
Yeah, DJ is done.
No wonder he hasn't
I
been in
was
this
just
fucking
imagining I was imagining in Dragon Ball Z when they speak to each other telepathically. Like
King
that was
Kai,
bad.
is that you?
Right, King Kai, is that you?
Oh, I'm so glad Donnie clipped that.
I
Hey,
think
Donnie's
my
our
conscience
Christmas.
was speaking to me.
Donnie, we can always count on a great
DJ,
clip.
if you're still there, can you please say I aren't thou, thou aren't I? Please.
Oh, if he comes back, I hope he does that. 'Cause he's not
Shit,
here now.
man.
He
Oh
left.
my god.
Oh, God.
When
I'm
God,
fucking
when
weird.
DJ Sock Puppet becomes DJ God Puppet.
God, please grant us with your words of wisdom. I didn't watch the episode, but
Thank you, Lord Almighty.
thank you, Lord.
Amen.
All right, well, so there you go. That was the collab right there.
By the way, I just want to finish up because I just want to say I'm thinking that they wanted to also do that so that they can get to the fucking Leon thing faster, and I think that's the thing. That's why 6 weeks they had to make up Leon. We need to get to it. He's in the fucking opening, so I'm guessing they want to get all the tight ends before we get into that because I think that's going to be the whole thing in the intro with the the Lisa Dorsa or the fucking Charizard. That shit's gonna happen probably after we get further into the World Championships rank up. So I guess that's why they wanted to get there faster. Because that's probably why the reason.
Oh no.
I am thou, and thou art I.
Oh, he said it. He said it.
God damn it.
Oh yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
My eyes have been opened. Thank you, DJ.
Who's next?
I think we're just flabbergasted.
I am thou, and you are meth.
She's Richie, Evie, anyone?
Yeah. Now I'm done. Now I'm done with my thing. So again,
Okay.
I'm done. So go on next. Next, please.
Terry, you want to crack at it?
All right.
Or
Wait, Evie said
Evie
she's
wants-
trying to go.
Evie?
Did he?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I probably won't have a lot to say with this episode, but something that I will point out that for considering that we haven't gotten development for Farfetch quite yet, ever since how long has it been now? Like it's been quite a while.
High Prof says it's 17 episodes. I take his word for it.
17 episodes. Okay, so coming into this episode, I'd say it makes up the lack of development for Farfetch very solidly, and I think I think this episode did a really good job. Opening a key path for Farfetch in terms of his development, and I think I'm the person who helped Farfetch notice his strengths and weaknesses, Rinto, with his Gallade. I thought that was pretty well done. I actually didn't think that I'll be liking Rinto as much as I thought I did. Discount Wally, hey, I mean, in my opinion, I think this guy is a lot more better than Wally if you ask me. But and of course Gallade. Gallade was one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So just to see Gallade finally be useful for once in the anime, I thought that was pretty nice. It was definitely a really solid fight. Like Tessa pointed out, I think the animation was really good for someone for just that one person who worked on the key animations. So, just everything about it was pretty solid, and I'm very curious. I'm very interested to see just how Farfetch development will open from here on out. But other than that, yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say about this episode. I like Rinto as a character. And I do hope he comes back because I think he'll make a really solid rival for Ash in the World Championships. And I think Gallade will. I think is a very solid Pokemon to be like the motivation to get Farfetch going into this development. So, yeah, that's all. That's all I have to say about this episode.
All right, man. Well, I guess since we're still continuing on with the Gotta Catch Up podcast here, it only feels appropriate to have Richie be the next one to come in and do his section of the review. Richie, if you're there, buddy, let me know.
Yeah, let me finish the bottom of the keg of this one.
All right.
All right. First of all, what I'll do is talk about the episode, and then I'll talk about the thing that's got a lot of people talking and just the big discussion point. First of all, in terms of the episode, I do agree with the sentiment that this episode looks very. There we go. It looks very good, obviously, because when Iwani does it, you're going to get something good in a visual treat. So, because I really like the way that the background was detailed, the Pokemon were detailed, just the eyes, everything about it was just crisply detailed that it looked really good. So I give this episode props. I give this episode props in terms of how they handled the the animation, and it definitely did feel like a Pokemon episode in the sense that the battle was pretty much the main focus of the episode, and I am very glad that the main battle really, the main battle of Farfetch versus Girder, definitely dragged out the way that you're supposed to kind of do with these sort of battles. Like, I didn't feel like there was nothing wrong with the circumstances. I felt like they kind of kept us on the edge. It felt like to me that this is kind of the way that you really do Pokemon battles. Maybe some people see it maybe people see it differently, but I think this is one of the ways that you should do it. And I'm not necessarily very proud that I'm not going to, but what I mean more so is in the sense that I really like the way that they did the battle, definitely for sure. And it is very exciting to see Farfetch finally getting development. I hope it's rather consistent because I know sometimes Pokemon does this thing where they'll give someone like a moment to shine, but then sometimes depending on the Pokemon themselves and their role, sometimes that same Pokemon won't get that kind of episode again until like months and months and months down the road, which I hope they don't do here, because that's kind of the problem that people have with journeys, is that how do you balance your team out with the proper development and the proper battles? And I hope Farfetch represents a change where basically we can see a lot more of that, and not just with the people in this team that, quite frankly, don't really need it, or the people that do need it, but they can, sacrifice a bit of time so the other lesser members of the team can grab it. So in terms of the actual episode in itself, before I get to the controversy, I did really enjoy it. I don't really have any problems with it. The only sort of problem, it's not really a problem. It's more like a nitpick issue where where it's a nitpicky thing with me, but I can deal with it. The last battle with the, as we like to call him, the Wally ripoff or whatever, that battle was okay. I kind of wish it was a little bit, not necessarily that short, but it's one of those things where I can deal with it. It just felt like to me that, if you're gonna, flash him off like a few times as they did throughout the battle, because Pokemon sometimes in these episodes do this thing where during the battle, then another character shows up. You'll see him or her like a few times, sitting in the seat, just glaring on. So when that usually happens, that usually means that, hey, maybe this person means something. Maybe this person is important. And I'm not doubting that the person will be important later on. But I guess I was just kind of hoping for that second battle to be a little bit more, not necessarily longer, but more so like, not necessarily more one-sided. But I guess that's what happens when you have the advantage of watching your opponent battle prior to your matchup with that person. So I guess there's not much you can do there. So I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the thing that people have been talking about, and I'm sure the next two people are gonna go in about this more in depthly and better. But what I will say about this topic about Ash's rank jumping from the number that it did all the way from, I forgot the actual number, but basically it went all the way to like what, 400 plus, 300 plus, something like that. Basically, here's how I was.
Yeah, it was in the 400s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's how I look at it. The only thing I would give it is that I can understand the fact of, oh, we can't show every single battle that led up to that rank. I can understand that sort of thing. But the thing I feel like that they should have done is, because if we're talking about like that big of a fucking jump in the rank, I don't see how they couldn't have shown us like at least a few battles where he did cross over a certain tier. Like, for example, maybe like one battle where it got him closer to, like, let's say a battle that got him into the, let's say, 700s or 600s. And then maybe the next battle could be like from the 600s to like the 500s, and then maybe the third one could be the one that actually shows us that he finally has gotten that far. But to then suddenly come out of nowhere and be like, oh yeah, by the way, he's gotten this rank off screen while battling all these various trainers. Because the montage was good. I like the fact that they kind of recapped for us of what he's done so far with the significant battles, because that's kind of the way that they've always been doing. But the thing that kind of caught me off by surprise, and the thing I didn't like about it, is them telling us at the end, oh yeah, by the way, he's pretty much at a pretty high rank right now. And I'm like, that's great and all, but I kind of wanted to see what led to that. I don't want to be told in this kind of fashion, because for me, I've always been a big fan of characters being developed right, and I've always been a big fan of seeing the steps that the character took in their development of becoming a better battler or whatever. We didn't get to see that here with Ash's journey throughout to get the rank that he needs to battle Leon. It felt like to me that they kind of just took a page out of the off-screen land nonsense, which has been very prominent in journeys. Now, granted, there were a few moments where that was sort of accepted or it made sense, but for this one, I just can't really accept that. I feel like we should have at least seen like a few battles where he went from the rank that where he was before that got him to that point of the 400 plus rank. I'm not saying every battle, but what I am saying is that maybe at least a few battles to where he inches closer, and then maybe the last battle that he could have done, which quite frankly was his episode. What they probably should have done is maybe make this battle to where it got him over to that, to that said rank that they literally talked about before the episode even started. I think that would have been better, and I think that would have definitely heightened the importance of the episode, along with the fact that obviously Farfetch got the development it needed. I think it would have been a very nice mixture of of a Pokemon that people have been wanting to see develop, and just overall how Ash has been progressing in this battle pyramid or triangle or whatever. So overall, it's still a good episode in my opinion. It's just a little bit of issue I have with the ranking, with the rank. Just to give it a grade, it's pretty much the same grade I gave in Tassel's review, which will be coming out soon. But basically, I gave it I think it was like an 8 or 8.5, but basically around like an 8. An 8. Yeah, it was I gave it an 8 out of 10. Still a great episode if it filled its purpose. So I have, quite frankly, no complaints other than the ranking thing. But other than that, the episode did well.
Alrighty, man. So now comes, I guess, the last two here. So I'm going to pass this one over to Tyrone. Tyrone, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, man. Well, I would like to hear your take on the episode, because I get the strange feeling.
I think I'm going to be the Simon, obviously, of this situation.
All right, man. So,
and it's only because I've looked at everything, and even like the criticisms that the episode's been given. So one of the things that I really don't like with the ranking system thing. The thing I don't like about the ranking system is because they introduced the Pokemon World Championships as something that shows that it relies on the ranking system to show Ash's progress throughout the entirety of this series and how close he is to getting to Leon. This pretty much means that the writers have full permission to put Ash wherever he needs to be conveniently for the plot. Imagine if gym badges were treated like this. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it either, right? Because then, like, rankings, I understand that rankings, and trust me, I understand rankings. I do a lot of online play in Pokemon, and I do a lot of online play in other things. Rankings are the ending result of if you do no activity, your rank goes down. Ranks constantly move. As you win, they go up. As you lose, they go down. And activity, they go down. They get reset after a certain amount of time because new trainers have won matches and old trainers have lost matches. But this going from 900 to 415 means that there's a lot of battles that Ash just didn't end up like being a part of, or they ended up skipping for off-screen purposes. And I know they're full well there's episodes that we could have like taken out that could have been replaced with Ash battling trainers. As far as them being nobodies, that's never been an issue with other trainers that we've seen Ash fight off before. He's battled trainers that have been weaker or have been just sort of out of nowhere, and they had no problem doing the rankings then. For example, like when he ended up fighting 3 trainers that use tentacle-based Pokemon. So it shows that they can show those. So there's no problem here. Now let's get on to the actual, like, oh, they're focusing on Farfetch thing. Well, yeah, that would be great, but you got to remember, Farfetch's Ash is like, what, 4th Pokemon he's caught? We still have Gengar and Dragonite that we haven't even paid attention to since their debut episodes. And this is how we're going to present it as, oh, thank goodness they finally developed Farfetch. I shouldn't be having to say, oh, thank goodness they finally developed Farfetch in an episode where literally, like, in a series, where literally they've had all these other Pokemon that Ash has caught that they're not going to pay attention to yet, where Lucario and Pikachu have taken the limelight, and Pikachu got fucking jealous. This is the series where Pikachu got jealous. And we have the same series where Gengar ends up getting abandonment issues that cause him to leave his old trainer. Yet this is the episode we're going to relish in. This is the one where we're like, thank God Farfetch decided to finally get some battles. This is inexcusable. If any other Pokemon series that did this type of tactic, I'm not sure how we would be able to accept it. This is not excusable at all. Saying, oh, thank God we're finally developing Farfetch, that's like Ash catching a Pokemon and then 50 episodes later he decides to finally use it and go, oh, well, they made up for that. No, they didn't make up for that. He caught it episodes ago. This is not excusable at all. And then we're going to want to tackle the 2 trainers that Ash ended up fighting. I actually like the construction worker person that Ash fought more than Rinto. We barely got any Rinto, but you want to know why we barely got any of him? Because the battle was too damn long. That battle lasted for fucking ever. Now, I know what you're saying. Would you complain that the battles are too short? The problem here is that this is a 1v1 battle. The battle Ash had with Bisky was fine because it was 2-on-2, and the episode revolved around that. And Ash challenged a gym leader. That was the cause. Here, the reason Ash is here is because Go found out that there was a Geodude outbreak. Nobody even mentioned Go's part of this episode. You want to know why they didn't? Because Go caught a Geodude JPEG. This is the animation that we're praising? This is it? When Go threw the Pokeball and Geodude did that one pose and got caught? I don't even think Geodude had an actual reaction to getting caught. And while we're on the subject of animation, look at how Lucario ends up training against Dragonite. This is the well-animated episode? I get when the battle heats up between Farfetch and Girder, that looks cool. It's a cool-looking fight. I'm not gonna lie. It overstays its welcome. We didn't need the fight to last that long, and the only reason I say that is because the second battle that Farfetch does is against Gallade. And I'm just like, well, if your job was to show off Rinto as a rival, I barely know him. Yeah, he's supposed to be that rival that's obviously showing that Farfetch has a long way to go, but he shows up and disappears almost as soon as he gets there. I don't get a sense of feeling that he's even worth mentioning. The fight he has with Gallade shows that Gallade's stronger, he's faster, but I don't get a sense of overwhelming power from Gallade just simply due to the fact that Gallade's fight only lasted a couple of seconds. This is the episode that's supposed to show off Gallade. This is his debut episode. We know that when Farfetch comes back, he's going to be stronger and fight Gallade. And they can't do the B situation again where they tie because that would be repetitive. So Farfetch, for all intents and purposes, either A, has to win the fight, or B, has to evolve into Surfetch and win the fight that way. That means Gallade barely got a chance to overpower this thing. If your job is to show that this thing was so much more powerful than Farfetch, then shouldn't that be the longer fight? Don't get me wrong, the Girder fight's great in terms of raw shonen anime power, but in terms of like adding to the episode, Ash beats him and moves forward. So here, it's just like, if the sense is to show that Farfetch has a long way to go, I don't see it. Except for what, that last 2 minutes we had? Okay. And then and then also the big topic is, Farfetch's goal is to be a leak master. Don't you think that would have been some information that we should have gotten, I don't know, earlier? Maybe? I'm just saying, like, with this episode, I feel like they wanted to do a lot, and at the exact same time, they did very little. They wanted to show off the power of Farfetch and how strong it is, and its issues that it has with Ash, and the fact that it's not sync, which, no fucking surprise, the two haven't been on screen together for God knows how many episodes. But here, it was a terrible way of showing it, because the threat that Farfetch faces isn't until the last 2 minutes of the episode. Gallade's the main threat, and he's barely a threat. Like, I'm not even sure how this even qualifies as an actual rivalry right now. And also considering the fact that we know that Wilkstrom comes in later with Aegislash, but that's in a promo trailer, so I'm not using it as a point. But I know that for fact Farfetch is supposed to have other episodes that develop him. But you want to know what this also does? This is another drop in the we'll finish it cup. We'll get to it. Don't worry. It'll come back around in like 20 or so episodes. It's just another thing you've dropped into the we'll get to it when we get to it pile. Oh, but Ash can jump any rank he fucking wants in the terms of the story. So it's all right. That's my opinions. 4 out of 5. Well, 4 out of 10. Damn, I didn't even give it
4 out of 5. You gave it an 8 out of 10, man.
Damn.
Congratulations.
But yeah, 4 out of 10. Go ahead.
It was absolutely a shit of an episode. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it
You know
was.
what?
Garbage
Let me take that back. Let me take that back. 5 out of 10. The battle in and of itself was good. I just know it overstayed its welcome.
Okay.
Right.
Now, my take on this whole situation, I stated this before. I enjoyed the episode. I think for a far-fetched episode, it is perfectly fine. The development's there, the fight's there. You love what you see because it's great stuff, stuff for Farfetch. Things that fans have been wanting to see for a while, because what was the big thing that everybody kept saying when Kamon made his debut? Come on. And we all wanted to see that Kamon have some shine, because his first impression was a very positive one for many fans, especially for me, because that meant no Sabo, but you get the point. I enjoyed seeing Kamon be a part of Ash's team. There is a lot of potential there. I love the fight. There is some things I have issues with the rivalry, only because I think Tyrone brings up a good point. It isn't so much a rivalry, rather just another opponent that Ash is going to have to overcome. The thing about a rivalry is you can tell when something's happening for a rival. You know when a rival between two characters is highlighted. They smirk at each other. They give each other a look. They see each other as like equals, but they view each other as, strong opponents that they wish to overcome. Here in this fight, it was a one-sided fight. It wasn't that it was a rivalry fight. No, it was just more so, now I got to try to get stronger to then beat this opponent kind of fight. You know what I mean? Like, normally rivals, they kind of tend to be an equal in power. Here, not really so much whatsoever. That's why I don't view it as a rivalry fight the more I see this episode, but rather just another opponent that Ash is going to have to face. Yeah, I can't really be too fully excited on that. You know what I mean?
Can I put in for a second and talk about B? Because, so in their first fight, B is the rival, air quotes, against Ash. And you can tell because Riolu's getting the shit kicked out of him for most of the episode. No. So you can tell that she's a threat.
No, but see, I didn't view it as a rival at first. I at first saw it as just one of those characters, like how in the early days of the anime series, when the Ash would lose against a gym leader and then fight him again later and win it. It wasn't until the second fight that I finally viewed them as rivals, because at least there you got to see the growth of Riolu at that point. that he was able to create a tie, and you could see that a rivalry between both it and the octopus Pokemon, Grapplock, I think is his name, was created. It was because of how that fight established it. As of right now, I can't see these two as rivals because there was no established rivalry that came out of this. If it was, there might have been a tie, or there might have been like just a point where Farfetch at least got it close to knocking it out, but then the Gallade defeated it by its one move, which, by the way, nobody pointed this out. It's False Swipe that it lost to as well.
What the fuck? Finish it with False Swipe? That's a thing now?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Apparently, people have been telling me that move that Gallade finished Farfetch out with was False Swipe.
Well, to be fair, now I will say this. I think that wasn't an official Pokemon World Championships fight because you would have seen the Rotom thing.
Yeah.
Say it. I think what happened is he used False Swipe, Farfetch was down, and he chose to just not continue the fight anymore. Because Rinto does sort of like stop the fight. I was remembering that.
Yeah, so. And I do like, so yeah, overall, the rivalry, I can't see much of it right now. The next time we see them and there might be like a tie between the two, maybe then I'll see that as a rivalry. But for now, it's just another opponent of the series that Ash might eventually see later down the road. It's kind of like Stefan at first in Black and White when we first saw him. We just saw him as a character today, and we never thought we'd see him again as a rival until far later into the show. So let's view it as that for now. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So overall, as I stated, the fight with Farfetch and Girder, yeah, there were some reused animations here and there, and the fight might have felt extended, but I just liked it that it got a fight. I like to see it get a fight. And now here's where my big criticism lies. Once again, this falls under the category of I love the episode when I see it on its own merits, but the moment I decide to slap this into the show's story is where it starts falling apart. Because when you view the episode for what it is fantastic. You like the direction that they're taking, and the teases that they have here and there is great. The moment I put it into the story and realize, holy shit, has it been like 10 plus episodes since we've seen Farfetch actually fight? And he wasn't even part of the Darkest Day either? That's where shit crumbled. And I was so mad when I just realized that, because I wasn't excited that Farfetch won. I was excited that I got to see Farfetch on screen. It's similar, and I think people need to bring this up more often. There's a reason why people went nuts when Gengar showed up in the Darkest Day plot. It wasn't because Gengar is in that arc. No, it's because Gengar never made much of an appearance outside of that moment there.
Praising Journey for shit that other series Ben did already.
Exactly, but this is such a standard thing. Gengar was a Pokemon that he had in his team for how many episodes prior to that arc? People weren't excited for Gengar being in that fight. No, they were just starving for Gengar content. And that's what's with this episode here. People aren't viewing it only as just a simple, good, far-fetched episode. No, they're viewing it under the impression that, oh my god, it's been so long since we've seen anything, if at all, any development for Farfetch, that it just feels good that we actually got something for Farfetch rather than having to wait even longer. Now we're just here just starving for when we get to see Dragonite content here, or even more Gengar content, because you can clearly tell some of the other ones.
Yeah.
We're not ecstatic for the fact that we're seeing them have good episodes. No, we're just ecstatic to see them be in episodes. And that's such a difference right there when people can see that and understand why people are craving for these episodes, man. It sucks that we have to have that mindset. But this is the reality that we're in with this show. It took so long just to see these characters show up on screen. And I'm so mad that we are somehow okay with that, when it shouldn't be this way. Because these are Pokemon. It's about Pokemon. You're supposed to love and appreciate the Pokemon that appear on screen. Even if it's not for training montage, at least incorporate them in some way. Show that they're a part of the team. Don't make it feel like they are like one of those. And I think this is also another issue, like with Journeys. Like, he only seems to carry Ash and Lucario for majority of the adventure. Where the hell are the others at? Why can't they join them, Stuff like that. But yeah, so that's my take on this episode. let's talk about that ranking, man. This is my biggest issue of this whole situation. I really just despise that we just shot up 500 points. Completely out of thin air, by the way. Maybe even 600, because technically when B got to when the rematch against B happened, we never got to see the score that Ash was in at that time. All we knew is that Ash made it back to the superclass.
Yeah, I would assume it stayed the same because he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
he technically didn't win or lose.
Exactly. But here's where the big issue lies. I went to look at some of the scoring, see how things were. At a rough estimate, normally when Ash fights a fight, it tends to go up and it fluctuates. Sometimes it goes up by 30, sometimes it goes up by 50, so let's go to like a common ground. Let's go to say 40 if everyone's okay with that. One fight equals at least roughly 40 points, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
That means that if each has shot up, say, about 500 points, we've lost about 12 to 13 battles of seeing that growth that could have been incorporated for some of the Pokemon. And people are going to tell me like, oh, but we don't need to see every single fight. I agree with you. We don't. In fact, when we started this journeys, I was perfectly okay with us going from what was like 9,999 all the way to 1,500 because I thought that we didn't need to see that. But here, we're in the top 1,000, and people are telling me, oh, we don't
need to... This is a super class. Like, they shouldn't be doing that shit.
And people are telling me, oh, but we shouldn't put much attention to, like, noob trainers. First of all, if they are considered noob trainers, why are they in the top 1,000? Why are they up here in this high rank and not very down below? Don't you think that maybe we should be focusing more on the fact that Ash has to fight against more stronger opponents that could be either higher or at least equal to his number? I mean, maybe Ash could fight against trainers that might be below, but would Ash really do that as a character, though? Would he really be going up against characters that have rankings that are like at the 99,000, or something like that? I don't know. I don't think Ash would do that, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, that's something that we can't really say because that's all handled off screen. I'm just saying that we're in the top 1,000. I think these opponents shouldn't be considered weak. I think these should be at least for mid to tough opponents. We went down from 10,000 to 1,000. These 1,000 trainers should at least be competent trainers. That would be cool to see Ash fight against. And I want to see that because these are the only opportunities for us to ever get to witness Ash's Pokemon actually do something. Because outside of that, we rarely get to see them much. It's mainly just focused on some of the smaller side of things with Ash and Pikachu and maybe Lucario and a little bit of the other Pokemon just having little cute moments and whatnot. But you want to see their fights. You want to feel connected. I feel so disconnected with Ash as a character in this series. It's so weird to me how I feels that way. I've never felt disconnected with Ash's character and goal more than I have with Journeys. Journeys, I think, is the first series that I've genuinely just didn't like the direction that Ash is going because I can't feel it. I can't sense where he's going. I don't know what's happening. I could be blinking for all I care about, and suddenly this man shot up from 400 to 100, and I'm like, what? So I'm just so lost with this shit. I'm breaking because this is the show that shouldn't be doing this. This is the show that people have been saying is gonna be one of the best because it's based on traveling across the globe. That means and even in the goal when the journey began, what was Ash's summary? Ash's summary was about fighting strong opponents to become the strongest out there. If you recall one of his character summaries,
right?
Glad to know we're seeing that. Oh, wait. We're not, are we? We're watching that shit happen somewhere in the world of off-screen land because that seems to be the logical conclusion we should be going towards, too. And I also want to take a dab... Go on.
Especially considering the fact that they went through the effort to show when Ash drops classes.
Yeah, so for all we know, Ash could be losing some too, but guess what? We can't say for certain because we haven't seen that fight at all in off-screen land. Maybe Ash won a couple of them, Maybe Ash lost a couple. Ash is a trainer that can fluctuate. He'll go up if he goes up, and he'll go down if he goes down. Maybe he's not doing fighting for a majority of some time, and his rank will just slowly deplete because he hasn't really been doing much fighting. How do we know? I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here because that seems to be what I have to do for Ash's character and his goal. And I'm so mad that we've gone to that. And the other thing, too, I want to talk about NPCs. This is the big issue that some people have been telling me as well. It's not just about new trainers. It's like, why should we have focus on random trainers? And I pointed this out online as well. Let's take a look at some of the trainers we've seen before in the past. The trainer with the Meganium. Biscuits. Alright? This Girder trainer we saw right now.
The trainer with Tauros.
Exactly. The trainer with Tauros as well. That one trainer Ash fought against in the Kalos region before fighting against Karina.
Oh, Claude Colitzer guy.
Yeah. Who were these people before Ash met them? Before Ash even knew them.
The people we just named them based on their Pokemon.
And also, just another random character.
Oh shit, he fought the bug girl. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm only just naming a couple. I'm not going to name every single one of them despite it being easy because I can count all the fights he's had with just my two hands alone. That's how it is. But you get the idea. It's just that these characters were originally random characters. But they became significant the moment they appeared on screen because you got to see their fights. That's the best thing about it. You don't care about them being weak. You just care about seeing their fights because you know that they might do something unique that Ash might have not experienced before. And now you, the viewer, will get to see that fight. Wouldn't it be cool to see some cool combinations of battles going on between Ash, say, using his Dragonite on like Cloyster, as we just pointed out, or maybe another Kalosmon or an Alolanmon or a Sinnomon. There's so much potential with this. There's so much written. I feel like a lot of the issues could have been fixed, honestly, had they done something like a Don George tournament, and we could have just seen him have like those fights where he could just have random fights and his rank will go up, like what they did in the Kalos episode with Karina. Like, they could have done something like that. I wouldn't have minded at all. It would have been great development for Ash. It would have been great development for his Pokemon, and you could have seen how his character was ranking up and maybe even lowering down depending on who he's fighting next. But we don't see it, and that's my issue. I'm just so mad that all of this is the joke I've been making since X and Y. But now this series made it a staple, and made it one of the highlights or key points about Journeys. It's really just off-screen stuff, and I don't like that. I never felt so disconnected with Ash. Nobody really seems to like much of Go, or did during his first year. In fact, if I remember correctly, the folks in Japan were pretty pissed off when Go caught Sobble. I remember Arky, one of my buddies on Twitter, brought that up to my attention and even pointed out in one of his tweets that a lot of people were annoyed with Go's character because they didn't like the sense of direction he was taking. I'm just so lost with this, man. I really hope they can fix this because I'm tired of this, man. I've been patient. I really kept my cool for almost 50 episodes, saying that, okay, it'll come, it can fix itself, it has its chance, it can do things right. But every time we keep saying this, I have to add something else to that list. And this is something Tyrone pointed out before I went into my ramble here. It's just another thing to add to the bucket list of things that this show has to do. It shouldn't be that way. It should have never been that way. There are better formats to have approached for this saga that you could have done. You could have made it mainly tournament arc based or something, like where Ash has to fight in these tournaments, and you could have made like a little small arc in that, like 3 to 4 episodes, and then focus on random daily shenanigans, Or maybe you could have done something like how Tyrone mentioned. Remember that trainer Ash fought like with the Cricketune girl, or say with that trainer with the Meganium? You know what they did with those fights? They made them connected to the episode. They were not the main focus, but they were still tied to what was going on. There's a perfect example as well outside of Journeys that I could use. I want to go back to the early X and Y days. There was one episode that really caught my attention the most because I would have loved it if more episodes had done this for Journeys. Remember that teacher episode with the Sylveon?
Yeah.
Remember how that episode began? It began with a fight
that
ultimately led to the plot of the episode. Yeah. And the way that was all done was mainly positive. People liked the fight. Sure, it was quick, but the concept itself was great. People loved it. Everyone enjoyed how it meshed well to the second story of it. And you got to see a lot of things of that. There's also the Battle Chateau. Battle Chateau was pretty great. You got to see Ash fight a couple of opponents, or one opponent, I should say, which was I think it was the Talonflame trainer or something.
Well, the Fletchinder and Fletchling.
Sorry,
he bought the younger brother, the Fletchling trainer.
Yeah. So you get what I'm saying. These battles don't need to always be the main focus, but you can use them in creative ways to make them tied to the overall plot that you're in. Like, another episode in Journeys I could fix right now for you off the top of my head. Remember that Team Rocket half episode that they had? When they were trying to focus on this whole Pikachu thing? You know what would have been cool? If that was actually a singular episode and the thing that Team Rocket were focusing on was an actual live montage of one of Ash's fights in the Pokemon World Championships. But you got to see that whole fight go down, and Team Rocket is providing commentary in the background while you're still watching the fight, and them trying to get an idea as to what Pikachu's actually saying when he either wins or loses a fight. You could have incorporated stuff like this to make these stories feel connected, so that way I can get a sense of an idea that Ash is actually doing something besides the narrator telling me it's happening. You just won't get to see it. That's all.
Even in this episode, the plot was that Go saw that there was an outbreak of Geodude. I was thinking in my mind before this episode started, okay, so while Go's catching the Geodude, he might run into a Graveler and then try to catch that. And then he'll run into a Golem. And the Golem will be too much for Go and Cinderace to take care of because, rock beats fire. And then suddenly Ringto will show up, defeat the fucking Golem, almost one-shot the damn thing, befriend Go. That leads back to Ash, who just got done with his battle, which we could see snippets of the battle, obviously.
Or maybe just focus on it for like the full 6 minutes and then go back.
And then when the two meet up, Rinto goes, that is how you won that fight? Like, Rinto sees the last half of the fight and he goes, that was a terrible battle. And then they fight Gallade, they lose, and that's how it went. Like, two sides of that episode coming together to make the one plot point. Plot A, plot B creates plot C. But they didn't do that. It's just Go going, wow, Ash is good. Like, what?
Oh, yeah, you're right. The outbreak is not even really an outbreak. Didn't they only encounter, like, a Geodude?
Yeah, I told you it was the one Geodude that literally kept the same animation the whole time.
Yeah, when he just got caught, and even in the Dex entry. So, yeah, that's just my take. I'm not going to rage. I'm not going to go berserk or anything. I'm just tired.
I'm just disappointed. That's all.
I'm just tired, man.
I'm tired that once again Yokai Watch has a better compelling story than a Pokemon series.
And I want to see why it's taking so long for them to sub it, man, because I want to watch it so fucking bad.
No, because I just want to butt in here because
no,
you guys have great points. But that's actually not the I'm not going up against any points. I'm actually going to add a point here. Okay, the reason why I jumped ship not really jumped ship, but I got fucking sick of Pokemon was because of XY and the direction I didn't like it was going. And then Yokai Watch appeared, and I was freaking enthralled in that, and the rest is history. But now with the Yokai Academy, with this whole thing, in 52 episodes, they fucking like beat the shit out of what Pokemon TM 2019 has done. They told a much better story, and they have more competent writers, and I'm really freaking feeling that. Unfortunately, or fortunately, if you want to look at it this way, they go from back to back. Unfortunately, the lead-off show, which is Yokai, is better than the one that it's after, because what happened was, again with Pokemon, they tried to do something different again, but I think this time that they they are kind of like weaving in all different directions. It's like that episode of Gintama where they're talking about when the manga goes behind the anime, where it goes around.
And they start having those arrows just go all over the place.
Arrows go all over the fucking place. That's what it is, and that's why, as I said at the year end thing, when we talked about that a few weeks back, with the anti-poke bros, it was like. I'm at the point where I do not want to fucking overanalyze this shit because it'll piss me off and I will not be able to watch this fucking series.
Yeah, and I feel bad too because
they could do better.
I know
they could do better. If level 5's writers for yokai watching their anime, they can do fucking a million times better than what Pokemon can do. Come on, you got to do something. You got to take inspiration. You got to go back to the drawing board and see what the fuck you're doing. It's not. It's something that can PM 2019 correct it? Absolutely. Is it going to be a struggle? Absolutely. Is there a possibility that it can be done? Absolutely. But the problem is right now, I feel that unless if they try to tie a lot of this shit together, I don't see it happening.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like
Poke Madness. No, I'm still okay. Like I said, it's still hovering around a 6-8 for me. But again, it's for me. If I had to rate it right now, it'll be between Sun and Moon and Johto for me, which means almost at the very bottom.
Wow. I was gonna say.
I think TSS saw the potential this show had, which I will be fair. I'll follow up on them there. The show has a buttload of potential. It's just not gonna use it.
I mean, that's why I'm excited for Iris and Gary to come back. But in my head, I'm also thinking, what are they gonna do?
That's what I kept saying. Like, everybody is loving Gary and Iris, and I'm like, you're loving something you haven't even fucking seen them do yet. I already saw how they treated fucking Karina. Do you think they're gonna do them two any better? We haven't seen Iris and Gary in years. That would require them to go back and read.
Also, my friend Arky here also brought up a good point. The one I talked about beforehand. He says, "Man, KG, one of my biggest gripes with Journeys so far is just how predictable it is, despite also being viewed as a wild card of a show." And he views that once the duck evolves, it's going to probably be thrown to the side alongside of all of Ash's fully evolved Pokemon, because by that point, he's already developed. So why does he need to be on the screen?
He's met his screen time quota.
Yeah. And it's probably going to be replaced with a base Pokemon who will then eat up most of that time. And once that Pokemon evolves, they'll then throw it to another Pokemon to develop that, because Gengar's already developed in their eyes. Dragonite's already developed in their eyes. Lucario just got his development.
I just want to make this clear. Like I said, I'm talking about entertainment factor in general. I'm not talking about comparing that and that are apples to oranges.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about, you could see good writing and you can see not so good writing. And when you kind of put them side by side and you look at the philosophy behind them, aside from any like franchise specific shit, let's just say that storytelling, compelling storytelling, it's no contest now.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, it's like Yokai only got 1 week of a work stoppage, and PM 2019 got fucking 6. So they got the short end of the stick there, and they fucked themselves in their own ass.
Ultimately, the best thing I could say is when a vast majority of the community, even some of the higher ups with doing reviews and reactions, bring this point up, it really is.
Dill, Boruto than this? I don't know about that.
I will say the recent arc, I think, is something to be excited about. But if you're going to watch all 150, no.
No. For a lot of people, they said that 150 is a good place to start. I actually agree with that.
I'm saying don't watch from 1 to 150. I'm saying start, like, if you start from like some of the earlier episodes leading to what we're in right now. Because the early shit, it looked like fucking, like, somebody shit all over the screen. Yeah. So.
But that's what it is. I think the biggest issue is Pokemon is trying to change around shit to make it seem different than the last series. And I don't blame them for trying something new. It's just the problem is you got to get to a point where you realize, okay, the shit that we're doing isn't working. And we have to like change.
Yeah.
But the other problem is you have to look at is since these episodes are made in advance, I don't know if it's still 10 episode blocks at a time, due to the circumstances. It may be a much bigger lag time than what we expect. So we might not see the payoff for another 3 or 4 months and see if they do changes, because right now, whatever we see now is already set in stone.
Yeah, so I just want to end off with saying this, though.
We all want to do, before you get to that point, we all want Pokemon to do great. I mean, otherwise, why the fuck would we be here? We all want it.
We love the series.
Great. We love it.
We all do.
I eat, breathe, and sleep this shit. I've done this for like 16 fucking years.
And now I know how TSS felt about the Sun and Moon thing, because I've watched every episode of Journeys so far. Like, I've been there. So you can't even make the argument, you didn't even watch it, so you didn't know. I've watched every last damn episode, and I'm just not impressed.
I still think you still should give a shot for Sun and Moon eventually, Tyrone.
Yeah, one day it'll happen.
No, I'm not saying right now. I'm just saying eventually you should.
No,
especially because you're not doing a review for it, so you're not being pressured under that
it's
mindset.
Pokemon, so I'm kind of stuck with it. So yeah it'll happen.
One of these days. But I'm just saying, ultimately, to wrap everything up overall, I hope we can see this issue be resolved soon. I really do, because at the end of the day, the only thing we as fans would love is for a show to succeed. We would love to see the show do right. We would love to see when a show can create a compelling story that captures the attentions of all audiences, not only just those targeted for kids, but to those of adults, those who began their Pokemon journey back in the late 1990s and are now adults themselves and can still watch this show to this present day. That's what Pokemon should always be about. It's always about you becoming a part of that journey and feeling connected with that world and being a part of that world, just like Ash is every single week when he's doing his adventures. And we want that to kind of be the thing, and we want to see more of that. It's just that right now, 50 episodes in, the best thing I could say for Journeys is I'm having a good time with this show when I view the episodes episodically, which is what their goal was since the very beginning, and I'll say thumbs up on that. But the moment I try putting everything together, man, it's like trying to put a vase together with glue. It just doesn't feel like it'll work, because one mistake will just cause that whole thing to crumble.
I would say it's more like getting a box of getting a puzzle from a thrift store that's supposed to have 1,500 pieces, but it only has 1,300.
Yeah, and you're questioning what the hell you're gonna do with the rest of the 2,000 that you need.
Yeah,
I wasted my time completing it.
Yeah. We went to fucking Salvation Army, bought this fucking puzzle for like $2.99 and it's missing pieces. So what the fuck we're gonna do? It's like the same feeling of disappointment.
And you want to know where all that stuff is, TSS? Those remaining 2,000 pieces? Off-screen land.
Yep. Somebody out
there that you don't know has it.
Well, somebody either somebody that we don't know has it, or it's somewhere spread across the Bronx Expressway or some shit. We never know. Never know where the fuck it is.
And I think with that being said, I feel like this is probably our perfect time to go and wrap things up for tonight. Unless anybody here in the call would like to have anything else to add.
Okay. So next week is going to be the vegetable episode, the farming one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be honest. I'll be fine with it. I mean, like I said, previews don't really tell stuff, but there's other things that actually are pretty cool. That are not anime related, but Daiki Yamashita, which is Go's Seiyu, and along with Sakura Zaka 46, is one of those Nogizaka 46 subgroups. They're going to be on Pokenchi this coming Sunday, and they're actually going to have a tag battle, like a tag sword and shield battle with all Suicune.
Huh. And given that the Suicune focused episode is happening,
yes, it's coming up soon. Yeah.
Actually, thinking about it, do you think that might be a tease towards the results of Suicune? Because I mean, why would they get the VA to show up and have him do an in-game battle and have him own a Suicune if he's supposed to be representing, Go?
Ooh.
That's the thing.
Ooh.
But we'll have to wait when that comes out, though, because that once again, it's just something that we're all assuming would be the better outcome, but it could ultimately.
But of course, never. We should never even think about that.
Exactly, because that's gonna hurt us in the long run. So we probably shouldn't. But overall, I hope everybody got what they wanted to see in this reaction / review / impressions about this episode. And what is to come for the series. I want to go and wrap things up here by saying thank you to everybody here in this call, and I do apologize as well for us going overtime. Like, we normally don't tend to do that, but for this one, I thought it would be a nice special occasion, especially because we took our extra time focusing on the aspects of the 25th anniversary for the Pokemon franchise, as well as talking about some of the flaws and positives that came from this episode as well, with the Gotta Catch Up podcast here, who are with us tonight. Tasso, Richie, Evie, and who also made a brief appearance, DJ. And I want to thank them so much as well for tuning in. I was only expecting, honestly, maybe like Tasso or Richie to come in. I wasn't expecting the whole squad up to this point to also be present. So it's a nice to see a podcast / podcast collab happen for tonight. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for taking your time to also partake in today's shenanigans of the week. And thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to say thank you guys for having me first off. DJ, for that special surprise, and for everybody, I just want you guys to know too, like, if I didn't talk a lot, it's because like these guys have so much passion, right? They analyze the episode more than I could ever do. Like, I didn't even see, like, the way they were explaining the episode, I could never see myself seeing it from that point of view. And like I'm just like you guys, like, I'm here to listen to what they have to say. So if you guys were wondering, man, Tasso isn't really talking a lot, it's because I rather listen to these guys than hearing my own thoughts. But if you guys do want to hear my thoughts, I mean, I might not overanalyze the episode like these guys are. I mean, you guys could check me out, but again, man, KG, Tyrone, TSS, like, I don't know how you guys do it. Like, you guys showed me like a way that I did not expect to see this episode. It's just insane.
Well, I think what it is that we have all different like analyzing styles, and we just things from different perspectives, and I think that's why we do a great job.
Yeah, one could be focused on the battling sides, like with Tyrone. TSS could look over like
music, because that's what it is. Oh, by the way, in terms of music, I totally fucking forgot. We have there was a brand new fucking Wild Battle Galar Battle theme, brand new, no violin lead. That's another fucking version that is unreleased.
Year 2 OST, baby.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Now,
like I would more analyze the music and also other aspects that a lot of people won't do. So it's like, right. So that's what it is. But yeah, I just want to also say, I'm loving the idea of getting like guests on. I think it's a great thing because it brings diversity, because we are a diverse community, and I think we should respect everybody. I think, like I said, we should yield and get more people, because having more minds debating about this, I feel, it makes the show very lively.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we all like to view things differently, but we all still appreciate.
We have respect. We have respect for one another.
Exactly. Everyone has a respect, a mutual respect for each other, because we've all known each other here in this call for many years at this point. And it's always nice to see when everybody can have their own slice of the cake and give their take on what they want to do, And that's why we every week so far, we've also been trying to bring in some fresh folks that never have appeared in the PokePod for this year, because it's always about celebrating everyone. It's about everybody being connected, everyone being together, and for tonight's session being with you guys, the Gotta Catch Up podcast. It's another one of those kind of highlights there that I appreciate so much. So, Tasso, before we go and wrap things up, I want to let you take the opportunity to also highlight where people can find you at and what your group is mainly known for as well in your podcast stuff. So, if you want to take the opportunity, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, like KG said, if you guys want to hear my style of analysis, TSS said that as well. You guys could find me on YouTube, youtube.com/TASOfficial. There, you guys will see me do reactions to the episode. If you guys followed me back in X and Y, you guys know what it's all about. I'm going to be changing up the style. It's going to be a reaction/review. So if you guys want to see my complete review with other people I'm going to be reacting to as well, which is something else that I'm trying brand new when it comes to reactions, be sure to subscribe to the channel. You don't even have to subscribe, just watch the video real quick if you guys like that type of video. Subscribe, it's up to you. We also do podcasts not every Sunday. Well, right now we're in the process of just trying to do a podcast maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on what type of episodes coming out, just because we're gonna be changing the way we do things in general for the channel. But we're not even just that, AMVs, all that stuff. But anyway, like I said, thank you so much, KG, for having us here. Richie and Alpha EV, we're always here for you guys. If you ever need help or if you want to collab, let us know.
Yeah, man, we're always open and we'll always be here for when.
Yep. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay. Right. Before we go, I also want to plug my own shit because I'm starting to stream again.
Oh yeah, this is also we got another member joining the streaming crew, ladies and gents.
Yeah. So TSS_killer on Twitch. I have been let's see. I have announced, and I'm going to announce again, I will be playing Tales of Symphonia PC version starting Friday, February 5th. But in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing some random streams. This week will be N64 and PS1 emulation stuff, and I'm going to talk about the philosophy behind them. And also, I've been making an experimental streams of I'm making an AMV live on Twitch, and walking through my thought process with you guys on how I view AMV creation. And including some random techniques. Some of them I've used for the very first time using Kden Live. So if you want to see that stuff, you can follow my Twitch on TSS_killer and TSS Killer without the underscore on Twitter. So check it out. So Friday night, my stream is on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, PS1 and N64 stuff. And then probably Saturday and Sunday, that's going to be the creative streams. So check it out.
Yeah, and a little update on my channel as well, because I told people I wanted to do this as well. I've always been intrigued, similar to what you're doing, TSS, about the AMVs, but I've also, as you know, I love taking shit and breaking it apart and creating something new with it.
Actually, I didn't hear. I want to actually take this time in a few seconds. Have you watched the AMV streams that I did?
I have not, but I have seen your other streams though. The ones where I wasn't all fully part in with your fighting games and all that, because I joined a little late for that. So I've actually watched that. I will be watching the others probably tomorrow, because as I stated, I have a lot of streams I always love watching. I know Poly stream I finished recently. Terrell's Persona stuff that I clearly missed out on quite a lot for that.
Fox three times.
I messed up so much Fox, man. I need to catch up on Fox. So there's that. But don't worry, I have a list. I always love watching people's stuff. I always love watching my friends' stuff because it's supporting the content. So I'm curious to see your thing on that. To clarify, and also thanks Tessa for the 100 bitty bits. But I want to say MADs. That's what we tend to call them. I don't know why they're called that, but MADs. These are things I've done many times. You guys might be familiar with the one I'm most well known for, which was the Snafu X, Y, and Z collab thing, where I put the two franchises together and made a Snafu opening with the X, Y, and Z cast. Still one of my more favorable ones that I'm sad is no longer available on YouTube, but it is what it is. So I want to do the same thing that TSS is doing, but I also want to show the concept of how I break these images, remove backgrounds, have them animated brand new again. I'm going to be doing that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it on Wednesdays or on Thursdays, but I do intend to do it one of those days and have folks come in and watch me remove backgrounds, show how I animate things and why I animate the way I do it. So that way, maybe people themselves could get some, experience or just, learn about these sort of things. So these are stuff I love to show off. And that's all I got to say on that.
I mean, if you look at a lot of people doing like art streams and stuff, like I'll give you another example. Masaki Iwane, he has done live streams, and what I like about his live streams is that he explains everything that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to have somebody explain everything while you're doing it and your thought process, that's some great entertainment. So I realized, why can't I do it with this? Because usually I like to make like AMVs like, in my own time. Everything's in my head. I do everything kind of like automatic, and it's pretty cool to just react and sit down and talk with the community and explain step by step what I'm doing and the things that are going on in my head at that specific moment. And I think that actually is a pretty good avenue for me. I find it very therapeutic. Just, it's like you're talking to an audience, like you're talking to a few friends, right? And you're just explaining what you're doing, and then I like it. If you watched any of the streams, you will. I find things that work better than what I originally thought, and I find that live, and then the reaction to that gives me the thrill. So definitely, that's something great to look forward to.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think if there's nothing else we can say, or if anyone else wants to add, I feel like that's the perfect time for us to go and wrap things up. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. It is the late hours, so everybody out there, make sure to go get some shut-eye. Another day, another time to have some good vibes, to pass by and whatnot. We always want to have things positive, because that's the most important thing. And I also hope that everybody here can take this opportunity as well to also give some love to my boy, the Insane Game Freak. I won't say exactly what's up, but just saying, just throw some good vibes at him as well. I'm pretty sure he will love and appreciate that. Go follow him over there at the Game Maniac at Twitter if you haven't yet. So give him the love he would love. So with that, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll, as always, be talking with you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everybody. And as always, please make sure to have yourselves an awesome day. Bye, everybody.
Wash your fucking hands.
Bye.